welcome to another episode of the Fellowship of the D20. It is once again on like a polyhedron. We are going to dive into some more Spelljammer tonight, and Greg is going to be our DM. But for now, I'm going to hand it on over to Steve, who's going to do our intro for us.
That's time on Light of Xaryxis. After the Astral elves attacked our homeworld of Toril, or at least for some of us, our crew was forced to escape into wild space. We eventually met up with Commodore Crux, who also wanted to take on the Astral elves, and he was willing to take us on his ship. So we worked out an arrangement with Fel Ardra, the tiefling captain that had loaned his ship out to, and she agreed to act as our helmsman for the time being while we're out on the mission. Our journey took us to a small rock in the middle of space, where an elf wizardess had held up in a crooked tower called the Tower of Topola. We met up with her, and after some chatting, she gave us a tour of Topola's tower and some dimmer while we discussed our situation. It turns out she was willing to help us, but first we needed to take care of a problem for her. A big kaiju named Big Mama was lurking out in the void, and she needed someone to take down Big Mama, as one does. So we agreed to do this, and the next day we started our hunt for the creature. Big Mama lived up to her name. She was huge. We struggled in that fight, mainly because she's a hit point sponge, and only range attacks seem to really do any good because of her mobility.
For those of you who don't know, Big Mama is basically a giant space shark.
Yep, pretty much.
Spiny space shark. Sharp spiny.
We needed a bigger boat. Anyway, we were stuck in the smaller boat, and she could fly around at will. So while we got some good hits early on, eventually, especially Asteria with her scorching rays, Big Mama was faster than she looked, and she also liked dragging people out of the boat into space for her lunch, which is what happened with Evantor, who got dragged out by the kaiju, was actually eaten by the thing, and very nearly died out there. But fortunately for us, he finally got regurgitated out of the monster, along with a fish suit, and the party was able to finish the thing off. So after grabbing the fish suit, our crew returned back to the ship, and we worked out our next moves. It turned out our new friend knew someone that she thought she could help, a ship captain named Garganhale, who had his own fight going on with the Astral elves. He also didn't much like Smurfs, but that's a different adventure.
I was about to say, this sounds like a guy to chase a Smurf.
Yeah, it was very Smurfy. Anyway, that meant going into Doom Space, which is not in fact ruled by an armored man named Victor. Anyway,
as far as you know.
As far as we know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we agreed to find this guy who turned out to be an ex of our wizard friend, and we set sail towards Doom Space to find him. This led us to a wrecked hulk of a ship that had been destroyed, presumably by the Astral elves. We found a couple of surviving hands, only to learn that they were vampires. But they were able to lead us to Garganhale, which also turned out to be a vampire as well. We met with him for a bit to discuss terms, which became a precursor to a mutiny, as Garganhale's crew turned on him, and we were forced to side with Garganhale to get his help in return. So this led to a big fight on Garganhale's ship, a battle that, after quite a few rounds, finally went our way. We got some good shots in, and eventually we were able to stop the mutineers. However, it was a Pyrrhic victory, as the lead mutineer had rigged the entire ship to blow up. So we took what we could, but we really had no choice but to leave with Garganhale, return to our ship, and get out of the blast radius. And with that, I hand the floor over to Greg, and we'll get on to the next parts of our voyage.
Thank you, Steve. There was one bit at the end where I will admit we got a bit rushed, but I just wanted to get you guys to the level up milestone. So
yeah,
I didn't want to belabor y'all's rushing through a burning ship. As you were running through the last breath and trying to stop the angry ghost from making it go boom, Garganhale reminded you that he had promised a weapon aboard the ship if you could help him get it before the ship was lost, or if you could save the ship. That weapon, as such, turned out to be an Astral elf, a woman. The party did, in fact, manage to escape with the Astral elf, returned to the second wind, at which point Fellardra made haste away from the last breath, just before you saw it explode in the distance. So, Garganhale is looking back at the burning remains of his ship that are quickly fading. Topola is kind of just standing there. She's going to go down by Crux. Commodore Crux is looking back and forth between the Astral Elf woman and the vampirate that is now up the board. And the Astral Elf turns to the party and says, "Thank you for saving me. My name is Princess Zidali of Xaryxis."
Zidalia?
Zidali.
Zidali.
Good golly.
I am Princess Zidali, daughter of Emperor Zavan and heir to the throne of Xaryxis. She looks between you and the crew, because you have picked up a crew along the way so far, including Grimzod. It says, "Thank you for rescuing me from this creature that had thrown me into his brig."
What did he want with you?
Grimzod just kind of looks away. Says, "Honestly, it wasn't really her." And she says, "No, he's just a pirate. I have a brother, Prince Zelith. We're twins, actually. And our father is dying. Per his wishes, we were both to ascend to the throne together. But information that I've gathered seemed to indicate that my brother wanted it for himself. The upcoming death and funeral of the Emperor are the final stages in his ascension to godhood. His dying wish is to become one with the light of Xaryxis, which is the star at the center of our space."
What does one get out
What
of
is your interest
becoming
in
one
my
with a
world? I'm sorry?
What? How does one become one with a star?
Would you like me to describe the ceremony?
I'm just trying to figure out how one does that without, I don't know, incinerating.
Well, in fact, one doesn't. You're very clever. One enters the astral font in the middle of the celestial temple, our celestial temple, at which point one is transported to the heart of the star and becomes one with it. At this point, members of the royal family can ascend to godhood and become one with the light of Xaryxis itself. What's your interest in my world?
Actually, Princess, we could ask the same of you. Your people have attacked a world called Toril, which a number of these others are from. They are very actively destroying it.
Ah, that's your world, is it?
It's not my world in particular, no, but I have allied myself with these others, and so I have a vested interest in their well-being.
She looks and she's kind of playing with the ring that she wears. As I said, the death and the funeral of the Emperor are the final stages in his ascension to godhood. His dying wish is to become one with the light. That wish is what prompted Zealot's attack on your world, this Toril.
What do we have to do with it?
Sacrifice.
Was it a random choice, or was there something about Toril?
Well, not neither, good sir. Our military and my brother, they study worlds and they choose an appropriate world to seed. Those seeds grow the astral vines that drain the energy from your worlds and return it to Xaryxis.
Ah, so therein finally lies the benefit. Up until now, it seemed merely to be an act of wanton destruction.
No, it's an act of theft. I assume you're attempting to stop this?
We would
Indeed,
like to undo it. I don't know that it can be stopped at this point. It's pretty much done.
Well, if it's done, then it's done, and your world is dead.
last we saw the world still exists, but it is covered in the vines.
Why, to my knowledge, the actual process is not yet complete. It could be possible to save your world. There's only one way that I know.
Then please enlighten us.
We would be very grateful if you could tell us.
You and I want something very similar. We both want my brother stopped. I will admit that my reasons are a bit less noble, perhaps, than yours. He means to steal my throne, and I mean to stop him. So if I tell you how to save your world, will you help me?
I have a counter question.
Yes,
If
the two tasks go hand in hand.
More than that. What prevents you from doing the exact same thing your brother is doing?
I'm offering you a chance to stop him because I have no way to stop him. I mean, your question's fair, sir.
Evan Tor Eisen.
Your question's fair, Sir Eisen. And maybe 1,000 years ago, the situation would have been different. Maybe I would have defended my father and defended this process. I don't know how many worlds this has happened to by now.
Therein is my concern. It seems your people have a reputation, if not a need, I do not know if it is indeed a need, to steal the resources of other worlds for the continuation of your own. Is this
Well,
so?
Yes, let me be clear. The only way to save your world is to destroy Xaryxis. The star. The center of Xaryxis base.
I'm not. I would just like to point out that as you guys were so willing to destroy ours, it's hard to feel bad about it messing up yours.
I'm sorry, your name was?
Hmm.
Urk? I'm the one telling you that if you want to save your world, we have to destroy the star Xaryxis. I'm giving you that information.
Hmm.
Why would you be willing to do that?
To stop my brother. If we can stop him, and which is what I was attempting to do before this, and she gestures at Garganhill, before this creature attacked my ships, was find help. I did not start on this mission to save your world.
That is understood. We are just surprised that you would offer something that would be of a detriment to your people.
The Imperial Fortress on which the Celestial Temple resides, where my father is lay dying, where my brother is waiting for his coronation, is orbiting Xaryxis now. I could take the Imperial Fortress, I could take my people into wild space, into the Astral Sea. We could find a home, perhaps with a star that isn't dying, or find some other means that doesn't involve destroying another living world every couple of centuries.
Right.
As
I
someone
don't
who... Oh, go ahead.
I'm willing to make that sacrifice on behalf of my people because my brother is not fit to lead and because I don't see another way to stop him. Our interests are aligned, whatever you may think of me or my people.
All right.
As someone who has
I-
failed the seas, I can say that you will find it habitable.
Well, the Imperial Fortress has long sailed the Astral Sea. It's simply called Xaryxis Space Home and has returned there. We long ago learned to harvest the light of Xaryxis to power our magic, our industry, our world, thus hastening its demise, thus leading our people to seed other worlds. I acknowledge the cruelty.
Your people have become parasites.
My people have been parasites since long before I was born.
I don't see a better alternative.
I am curious about one other thing. Your royalty. They seek God through becoming one with this star. If we destroy the light, does that destroy your pantheon?
I don't know. I don't know that I ever believed in that part of it. I don't know if I care.
Well, to be fair, logistically speaking, your heaven, for lack of a better word, must be rather overpopulated with gods by this time.
My people live a long time, sir.
I understand.
I don't know how many emperors there have been.
Yeah.
I mean, we have priests among my kind of a sort. I believe that's what the other races call them. But they don't call on my ancestors, so I don't know. I will tell you this. I have told you openly that to save your world, we must destroy the star that mine calls home. I'm willing to help you. In return, I ask your help stopping my brother. In order to destroy Xaryxis, then the light and the connection, a member of the Imperial family must perform a ritual at the Astral font in the temple that's floating in the Imperial Fortress. Thus answering your question, why don't I just go do it?
Yeah.
I may
That's
be
all.
princess, but I would be committing treason in front of my father, my brother, and every guard we have.
Assuming everything you say is in fact the truth, this is equitable, I find.
But I don't see that-
What do you think, Asteria?
I don't see a better way to do this. It seems that this is the best option that we have. Probably the best we
Are you? It was his mic breaking up, or was it just me?
Yeah.
You were breaking up.
Is it? Oh. Something's
That's
going
better.
on with. Okay. Okay, it's probably my wire then. No,
Yeah,
I was
it was.
saying I don't think we have a better option right now. This is the best lead we've had in some time.
I agree.
I'm also kind of thinking that by helping her, we're helping to at least diminish a parasite, as Eventor put it.
Well, yes. Well, it's a parasite that's eating my world right now, so I would like to do something about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, this is the method of ending the destruction of your world. I care not the politics of the Astral elves, who sits on the throne as long as they are not a threat to the worlds beyond their own.
If my
Likewise.
brother isn't stopped, he will be a threat to more worlds than Toril. We're already scouting the next. They don't. Each world lasts centuries, typically.
So in
Some
a way, we'd be
decades.
like, in a way, we'd be like guardians of the galaxy.
Almost spit out my Coke.
Who said that? I couldn't see you. You were standing too still.
let me have one of these potato chips, then you'll find him. Where did
All
he
right.
even potato chips?
So, what do we do from here then?
Princess Adali looks around and says, well, were you planning an assault on Xaryxis with this vessel alone?
Well,
Well, it's one of those work with what you got kind of things.
actually, we had, through the recommendations of others, sought to enlist the pirates who were supposedly part of a revolutionary brigade, but it seems they have been dealt with rather harshly, as all we basically have left are the captain.
As you say this, you notice that Commodore Crux has wandered to the fore of the deck, somehow gotten hold of a tankard of ale, and is just staring off into wild space, sulking. And he made Garganel go away. Every once
He
in a
is
while, he
kind of
just
creepy
looks.
looking, to be fair.
Every once in a while, you see Crux look between Zadawi and Garganel and just kind of shake his head and look back out over the railing.
Are there any Astral elves who agree with you, or that who would be willing to follow you?
Possibly. If we made it to the temple, if we made it inside, if we made it past my brother's fleet,
It's a lot of ifs.
In other words, no until somebody else does the deed.
I'm going to throw in a DM note real quick because of the spacing of when we play these sessions.
Yeah.
You guys did encounter Garganhale at Topola's suggestion. Before that, Crux had told you that an alliance was being formed in a sphere called Doom Space
Yeah.
Right.
with one of his old comrades that he simply hadn't been able to contact. So
Is he an armored dude trying to keep back the forces of hell?
what?
Is he an armored dude trying to keep back the forces of hell?
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's Doom Space. It doesn't always have to be Doctor Doom. Sometimes it's just Doom.
Well, maybe we could get in touch with those people.
Yeah, I just wanted to remind you of that, so that you didn't get that mixed up with the pirate fleet. That was
Because
Topolus.
we were trying to add.
You were trying to go to Doom Space.
Yeah, but we were thinking about adding the pirate fleet to the mix as well.
Yes.
The carrier.
And now Garganhale has actually requested to join the Second Wind, and Crux was already unhappy about that. And then Zidali started talking.
Oh, I know. He's got to be terribly unhappy. He's got pirates on one side of him and an Astral elf on the other. Not exactly pleasing for our favorite GIF.
No. And now he's staring over the rail, drinking and sulking.
Yeah. I guess Doom Space it is.
Alrighty.
Okay. Well, you have Princess Adali, who is now asking if there's somewhere she can rest that doesn't involve bars on the door.
You get used to them after a while.
I beg your pardon.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, you'll find that this vessel is not a pleasure cruiser of any sort, but I'm sure some sort of accommodation can be made for both you and the captain. And meanwhile, I'll drift over to Crux.
All right. Topola says, I can take her down to the crew quarters. I know the Second Wind.
Cool.
Okay, Crux is right here.
Yeah, let me see. So I'll move on over here.
What can I do for you, son?
I understand this arrangement is not to your liking.
I've been to the Imperial Fortress once before. I didn't. It may seem like an affectation now, but once the title Commodore was accurate, I led a fleet. So many ships.
I can empathize. I was once the leader of an impressive force of my own.
They routed us.
What's that?
They routed us. We fled.
Damn.
Do you have any insight that might help, given your past experience?
Good question.
We need help. We need to find Warwick. We need. It just kind of looks. We need to hope that this alliance he's been building has some weight. Because the last time I took an entire fleet up against the Imperial Fortress of the Astral elves of Xaryxis, we limped away. We're lucky that Solar Dragon didn't tear our ship apart. I think
Solar
it was
Dragon?
laughing at us. Solar Dragon.
So, Solar Dragon?
zealous solar dragon, if you really want to know. His mount.
I see.
I don't.
Her.
I didn't
Yeah.
sign up for solar dragons.
Neither did I, son.
As those of you who have not been in wild space before may or may not have realized, the creatures you have encountered before in the prime material plane can often pale in comparison to the size and powers of those found in the open reaches of wild space, the astral plane, and other like dimensions.
I have heard such things, and I've seen a dragon or two in my time, and something being more scary than that is honestly kind of terrifying.
Imagine the sort of dragons that other dragons might fear.
Damn. Okay.
And Crux just looks back out and says, I don't know, Zidali, the princess, what bits. I know of her brother. I knew of her existence. I didn't know about this debate over who would be emperor, and I didn't even know Zaman was dying. And I don't know who I hate more, Zealot and his Astral Elves for what they've done, or myself for not stopping them when I tried.
You cannot hate yourself for defeat if you gave everything that you had in the effort. There is no shame.
I fled. I'm here. I mean, I didn't flee. I was unconscious. My crew fled. So I don't want to blame them. It was my command. But I didn't give everything. I lost hundreds of people that day, tens of ships, and I'm still here. So I thank you, but I didn't give everything I could have.
Counterpoint, that sounds like you did give everything that you could give. You were no longer functional at the time, and it was up to your crew whether they stayed and fought to the last man or not. A point which seemed futile.
All right, Evantor, I need a persuasion check.
Ooh, okay.
Since Urk has spoken up on a few key points, you can roll it with advantage.
Ooh, let me click that advantage button then. Not great.
Good enough. You can see it in Crux's demeanor. He kind of squares those big old hippo shoulders a little bit. The sadness is still there, and he's still looking out. And he just looks down at you. He says, well, thank you. I don't know that I think you're being too generous to me, mind you, but I appreciate it. And you're right.
Well, please continue.
No, by all means.
I say this as one veteran to another, one who also faced an implacable foe. You have them here, in this time, in this place. The mind players, the illithid. But where and when I came from, they were legion, an infestation, a plague, scourging world from world. And it wasn't just the fact that they would feed upon us, stripping our minds from our cranial cavities for sustenance and intelligence, stealing our thoughts, memories, our very essence. But they were also very cruel. They would enslave. They would experiment. They did unspeakable things. And in the course of battling them, some of us also had to do unspeakable things in return. Unthinkable things.
Were they Cardassians by any chance?
They pale in the Cardassians pale in comparison.
Well, until they get their spray tans.
Until they get their spray.
Just remember, there are 4 lights.
Yeah, that was pretty damn funny, Greg. Until they get their spray tans. I fell victim to my own victory. I have to assume it was a victory, and yet it may also have been a tragedy, because I find they still exist here in this place, and perhaps I am at fault for that. But at least here you seem to have found some sort of equilibrium with them. But I still bear the scars, both physical, mental, emotional. I know where you come from, Captain, or Commander. Captain, Commander, whatever you are. Crux. Commodore. I know what it's like to lose men, ships, allies, friends, even a lover. In my case, I have lost even my very place in this universe. I will not see this happen again.
He looks to the others. He says, I think you found a place. It may not be the one you had, but you seem to have found a place.
Yeah. In time, I do hope to return to my own time and place, but
As do I.
I have found, as you said, worthy companions. Though I am still considered, how would they put it, socially awkward. But
my understanding is just we're both kind of socially awkward.
in different ways. But perhaps the princess can provide us with the element that you were lacking before. As one of the, not just Astral elves, but of the royalty, she may have information that will allow us to formulate a more successful endeavor. I am thinking perhaps of a two-pronged strategy. An outward assault of some sort to draw the attention, while a smaller, stealthier force finds its way inside to do the deed that truly needs doing, the destruction of the light of Xaryxis. At least for now, that is my working theory until I have more time with the princess.
The gift says, what little, as I said, what little I do know, she didn't contradict any of it. It does seem odd that she would be willing to destroy the star in the center of Xaryxis space. But politics was never my strong suit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right. Well, know this. I am, by nature of experience, calculating, cautious, and never trusting. I am always watching each and every one of you. I suppose this is
that
part
because you're a shit possessed by hell?
Do I really have eyes? No, wait, you've seen me without the mask. Of course I have eyes. Again, because of the mind flayers, you could never precisely know who amongst your allies might have been turned against you. So, This has become part of my general demeanor. And while I do not fully trust said princess, if this can be the pivotal point that solves all of our problems, I will take it.
Crux looks past Eventor to Asteria and D
Mm-hmm.
and Urk. Says, what say you three? It's your world.
I think it is the best alternative we have right now. I do like the idea of a two-pronged strategy. That's something that can be worked with. But we're going to need more people.
Well,
And a bigger boat.
Yeah, very much a bigger vote.
Yeah,
as I
I'm sorry.
said, my old comrade Warwick left for Doom Space months ago. We were in contact until just a few days before your group hauled yourselves into Luigi's on the rock. But I lost that sending stone. So I don't know. I know where to meet him. We had, a designated spot. So my recommendation, he says, excuse me, somebody walks past my Ventura. My recommendation is that we sail there and look for him.
Yeah, that would be the best place to start. We can't make a frontal assault. We're gonna, and plus we really only have one shot at this. I would rather be in a position of strength before we make that attempt.
All right.
We are at your disposal, Captain Commodore.
I would say that our numbers demand stealth.
Crux reaches behind himself to his right to Grimzod, whom you now realize is searching, patting his pockets, and Crux hauls him forward and says, now what about this bloodsucker?
Well, I'm not kneeling before Grimzod. I don't care how he is.
Kneel, son of Toril!
First you, and then one day your heirs.
Your ears, yes.
I don't care much for vampires.
To be
I don't
fair,
like to sail with them.
I do not care much for any creature that feasts upon other sapiens.
Grimsod says, oh, come on. I can
Even if
help.
they're ordering number 17?
If he can assure us that he won't,
we already know how
feed on the
our-
living,
Thing.
as long as he doesn't feed upon us.
Funnily enough, if it was eeny, meeny, miny, he'd probably shrug as long as it wasn't his tribe.
Yeah.
It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, after all.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell Crux is ready to just throw him over the rail, and Grimsod is just staring back, but he's not making a move to attack. He just keeps patting his pockets. He says, all right, Miss Asteria, was it?
Yes.
I won't eat or feed whatever from anyone or anything unwilling that isn't trying to kill us as long as I'm with you. If you can tell me where your little shiny halfling friend went with my hand, then you realize that his detached hand is not present.
I guess we're going to have to go look for him, aren't we? Is that acceptable to you, Commodore?
He says, honestly, it's not really a time to be turning away help, so let me just say this. If it were just up to me, I'd throw him over the side and let him float.
Yeah.
If
In any
you're
other
acceptable
situation, yeah.
to
In most
ally-
other situations, I might be inclined to agree, but in this case, we do need the help.
And
I tend to
respectfully,
agree with Asteria.
on your heads be it.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's see if we can find Nyx and see what he did with the dude's hand or whatever it is.
By the way, I have worms. You don't want to eat me.
I will certainly say this. My position is known, vampire. Step out of line and being thrown off of the ship will be the least violent way you leave this vessel.
Damn. You learn a lesson in violence.
Grimside just looks at Dean and says, "Your friends are really mean, miss."
Yeah.
No, they just don't do a lot. They want to protect their own.
I've taken no action against you.
All right. Don't start none, there won't be none. So.
The point is taken. You still exist.
A few minutes later, y'all do see his hand come climbing up the stairs from below decks.
Okay.
And just
I think I
climbs
see
back up
your
onto
hand.
his shoulder.
Okay.
Did you
Are you
like that?
alive? Then you got your answer.
Evan Tor don't play, man. Even if I didn't make him like an emotionless Mr. Spock-like bastard, he's been through the ringer, man. He's getting 1,000-yard Vietnam War stare.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Evan Tor has seen some shit.
Yeah. All right. I guess we can probably take a long rest and make our way over to find this guy.
Yeah, there's going to be some sailing.
That's cool. And if the vampire gets offline, I'll be excited to use my new 7th level acquired spells on him.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to testing them out on things.
I have plenty of ways of inflicting radiant damage. I have plenty of ways. I have turn undead. I mean, I have lots of meta magic now. So
Nice.
I'll tell you. Let's just, for the sake of argument,
I'm back.
at the moment, let's just say the first few days pass, so I can give you some background on how these individuals behave.
Okay.
Princess Sedali is given crew quarters below decks, which she's willing to share with Topola, even though she seems to find Topola completely bewildering. Zidali is somewhat standoffish. However, if anyone wants to speak to her, she will engage in conversation.
Oh, Evan
I have
Tor's
to know
not
if you named
speak
that.
with her.
I have to know
Okay.
if you named that character after the director.
I just want to let you know how each of these people are going to be for the meantime before we get to the
Sure.
sailing. Topola,
Right.
I mean, you met Topola. She'll talk, especially if you want to talk about birds or wild space or map making or autonomes or recipes or space sharks. Belardra thinks you're all friggin' insane and wants to know where her money is. Nyx has taken to playing music most of the time. He'll speak if spoken to. He seems to find this whole situation hilarious.
I'm kind of tempted to say to Phil Ardra, I was like, well, we've got a princess, and she's rich. She's like, richer than you can well imagine.
I don't know. I can imagine quite a bit.
Hold on. You just gave me an idea.
Uh-oh. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Let me see. Actually, and Grimzod, which is, sorry, I know I keep going back and forth. His name is Grimzod Garganhale. So,
Oh,
Rimside.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was a different vampire
Yeah,
or
not-
Gargoyle. Okay.
my apologies. I just kept slipping back and forth with that. He's perfectly happy to talk. He'll talk about his time sailing. He'll talk about how he lost his hand that's now a crawling claw. He will talk
I don't know
about...
I don't know
Sorry?
if that's module, Greg, or if that's just something you came up with. But whoever came up with that, that's a really brilliant character detail.
And the name is
Yeah,
very Lovecraftian.
I can't take credit for that one, but I do think it's kind of neat. That's why I'm
It
glad you guys didn't kill him or kick him off the ship.
I totally want to rip that idea off sometime now.
Okay.
Let's see. Flinch, whom you barely notice unless you're looking for him, he's mostly the swab index, keeping things clean. Unless you guys want to get into details, I'm going to make a general statement that you get enlisted to help out with chores around the ship.
Yeah.
Please don't make me do a crew roster.
Okay.
But you get some experience just in swabbing deck. I mean, they're not asking you to like do all real grueling stuff, but scraping off the odd barnacle, helping.
Is this like some Miyagi shit where while we're cleaning, we're like learning martial arts and shit?
Yeah.
No, this is the fact that there's only 3 sailors on the ship, so you're having to pick up the slack.
Yeah.
Yeah, Evan.
You just
Evan
said we
Tor-
got experience, so I thought we was learning
No,
a little
you-
Miyagi lesson in there or something.
You get experience in how to take care of a spell jamming vessel en route.
I
Yeah.
see.
Evan Tor is not so much into doing that, but he will definitely take his turn the spelljamming helm if that will prove to be beneficial.
Yeah.
Your help is
Um,
accepted,
yeah.
although you feel like Felardra is watching you most of the time. No one knows when she sleeps.
That's all right. I watch her back.
Yeah. I'm just using prestidigitation to clean things up from time to time.
Okay. Well, Crux will. I mean, he'll talk. He'll talk about his friend Warwick that you're going to see. He doesn't. He won't say much about the prior battle with the Astral elves beyond what he has said, and he apologizes if anyone feels like he deceived you by not telling you the whole story. It's really not one of his favorite stories, but he is absolutely on board with helping you all get back at the Astral elves. And to him, you know, he seems like a good guy, so he wants to save your world too, but honestly, he wants to get back at the Astral elves.
All right. I think that's something we can agree on.
We can use that.
That's good enough for Evan Tor.
That's useful. Yes.
Topola is also carving fishing poles and lures, and if anyone wants one, you have but to ask. And Grimzod keeps asking if anyone wants to play dice.
I'll play dice.
Okay. It's a game called Dead Hand Dice.
Of course it is.
Ace is an ace.
He says, all right, son, sit down. Let's go. Let's just sit here. Crux says,
Okay.
oh, Lord.
Crux is like the bird is going to lose all his cash.
He just says, leave me out.
The trick's on you. I have no cash.
I bet all the feathers on my back.
We don't play dice for free. No coin, no point.
Do you play for years?
No.
Yeah.
I play for gold, or at least silver.
Well, I was just looking for something to pass the time. Besides, the player who's controlling me is a dice goblin.
He looks out and says, Goblin, where?
His name is Drew.
He's a hell of a bouncer.
He is. Learn from the best.
When Evan Tor is not taking his turn spelljamming, he will want to talk to the princess and try and learn anything and everything he can that might help their position as far as like if there are any ways around defenses? Are there anything she can think of that would allow them to gain access to this space, well, to this Death Star, if you will? And Grimshod, he wants to ask him if there are any pirate tricks he might know, like some dirty little secrets that might benefit them in the upcoming excursion. And as for Tupla, he just likes to ask her about general spell jamming stuff because she's in the know.
Well, the first thing Grimzod will say was, well, you passed through the ruins of a fleet. My first advice is never attack with your whole fleet at once. That involves having more than one ship.
An excellent point.
I don't know if there's anything salvageable there. We were running not from Zealot that time, but definitely from his minions. And you saw what they did. There were only 4 of them.
But, as with Crux, in your defeat, I find avenues of wisdom. We can harry them with smaller forces, attacking at odd angles, strafing, run and gun, as it were.
That's true.
One should always learn from one's defeats. This can plant the seed for later conflict.
His hand crawls up on his shoulder and starts tapping rolling its fingers. And then it kind of goes under his chin, the detached one.
Hmm.
And he says, you want to know what I learned from that last battle with the Astral elves?
Indeed.
Not to attack the Astral elves. I'm not saying I won't fight with you. I'm here. Whatever else I might be, and he looks at himself, and I have no illusions about that. I'm a man of my word. Their tactics are military. They're good. They're coordinated. All of their ships are in constant contact with one another. I don't think that princess knows the first thing about how our military fights, but she did stumble a bit when you asked if any of them might be loyal to her, or if any of forces were. She did say, if we could get to the fortress, that she might have some loyalists. That's worth remembering.
Yes, they need proof that she can succeed before they will step in, is my interpretation.
As you've seen so recently with the last breath, and he gestures vaguely behind the ship as you're sailing through wild space, a sufficiently charismatic individual can turn the crew against its leader, especially if they're beginning to lose faith. Zealot may be a lot of things, but I don't think he's the most popular astral elf on Xaryxis. He's not the emperor yet, and if what she said is true, let's have some dramatic timing. She comes up the stairs and finishes his sentence. If what I said is true, Vampirate, I believe you were going to say that my claim is as valid as his. And Grimzod just says, yes, your majesty. And he bows in the most sarcastic manner you've ever seen an undead pirate with one hand that's been since animated bow. And then he walks over and starts playing dice with Urk.
I do not care about legitimacy. I care about results.
Well, excuse me, your worship.
Oh, crap. I moved the wrong way. Sorry. The princess comes up and says, "Well, legitimacy. I believe that you are speaking about weapons, good sir.
Among other things.
My claim to the throne is a weapon. It's simply not one that can be deployed from a distance.
But of course not.
My father's wish, in fact, his decree, is that my brother and I take the throne together, side by side, as equals.
I have a question about that matter.
Yes?
Your brother
Yeah, does your
Your brother
brother
had
know you and your brother?
I'm sorry?
Your brother has deposed you.
Not exactly. My father is emperor. My brother and I are in line to be emperor. Both of us, again, together.
Understood.
My brother wishes to rule alone, I believe. And I
Also,
have good reason to believe. So he hasn't deposed me. I am still princess of Xaryxis.
so, do you still wish to rule side by side with your brother?
I don't believe that's possible.
Then do you wish to kill him?
I believe if it is possible to capture him, that would be preferable to me. I don't know if that will be possible. If it's necessary, then I'm willing to kill him. I wouldn't say that I wish to kill him. I do not like my brother. Let me be very clear. I make no illusions, but he is my brother and he is the prince. If it is possible to capture him, if it were possible to capture him peacefully, I would do so. If it's possible to capture him by force, I would like to do so.
If you two have a reign, how do you propose to keep him from continuing to destroy Toril?
The only way to stop the destruction of Toril is to destroy Xaryxis. That my brother is an obstacle to that, but
Would you not?
technically, you could accomplish your goal without helping me accomplish mine. So
Now,
I hope you understand that I am taking a risk here.
understood, but I just wonder, would he not simply find another star to be the center of your world and use it in a similar fashion?
Yeah, what's special about Xaryxis?
It's ours. I don't understand. Perhaps I
See
didn't
that star
explain.
over there? It's yours now.
Understood. If the star Xaryxis burned for however long it burned, I don't know. Before. At some point, my people, the Astral elves of Xaryxis, found a way to tap into its power, use it magically, mystically. I don't know entirely. It's like a spell jamming helm. I know how it works in that I could make it work, but I couldn't build it from nothingness. Does that make sense?
I'm not asking for the particulars, but you did say that your people were already looking for a substitute, knowing that the central source of your power was at an ebb.
No,
So,
sir. That was not what I intended to say. We seeded, or Zealots seeded Toril. He already has scouts roaming the Astral Sea to catalog other worlds to be seeded in the future to feed Xaryxis. When the process completes, the vines mature, for lack of a better word, all of that energy from your world, and she kind of gestures around, from Toril,
Yes.
will be transferred to Xaryxis, replenishing it.
Oh, so you bitches think you Galactus?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yes, and if you take the mythology that says Galactus was also a star before he began consuming them, we are taking the energy. Well, no, because we're not taking Turil's star. We're taking Toril. We take worlds, not stars. Living worlds.
Yeah. It's draining the bioenergy of the world to feed the star.
Yes,
It's
I understand.
draining all of it. The energy of your people, of your plant life, of your both your
Entire,
flora and your fauna, as well as the weave of magic, both arcane and divine, around your world. All of that will be used to replenish Xaryxis.
certainly everything that the planet has to offer will be
And it will
taken.
be left a dead rock.
It will become like unto the moons.
Less. I'll
Less.
show you when
That
we
is
get to Xaryxis space, because we did it to one of our own worlds first. But if you're asking whether we would move to another sphere and start the same process,
Yes.
not under my rule. I will make you this guarantee as part of our arrangement, because you seem like folks of conscience, and I don't think you want to unleash that on others.
No.
I can take the Imperial Fortress into the Astral Sea. My people could learn to live without draining a living star. There are levels of survival we would be prepared to accept.
Nice.
Thank you. If we find another wild space sphere that our fortress could inhabit, I can't promise there would never be a battle, but it would not be my intent to reestablish the empire and restart this process of draining other worlds. That never really felt right to me, but it was not my decision.
I have no objection to empire. Empires come, empires go. Some last vast aeons longer than others. But history turns, the wheel turns. It is the way of sapience. But the outright destruction of worlds, the waste, the genocide, this I cannot abide.
I agree with you. But there's also the simple pragmatism. The Commodore's fleet, that I know of his attack on our fortress, and she looks at Crux.
Did you witness it?
No. I witnessed its aftermath. I was kept inside. I was not involved in the military or the defense of the fortress. I was inside with my father while my brother led our defense. That was not the first such attack on our fortress. And as long as this seeding of other worlds, the raiding of other worlds continues, it won't be the last. It will be the destruction of my people one way or the other. And whatever else you may think of me or the Astral elves of Xaryxis, I want to save as many of my people as I can. And yes, I wish to rule them. I will rule wisely. I will rule better than my brother.
You already show
That
some
is-
wisdom,
Yeah.
as with the incursion of the illithid into my space.
Oh, I'm
Such
sorry to hear that.
it is a different time and place, but you're not incorrect about the current path your people are on. Once they make themselves a threat to everything else in their sphere of influence, then all will rise up and oppose them, and it will end in tragedy for your people.
Honestly, I'm surprised that the attack on Toril hasn't engendered more of a response, if I'm being open, she says.
It is. They do not yet understand where the attack is coming from. They have excellent resources there, I have found. And currently, I'm sure all of those resources are being put into the method of either staving off or ridding themselves of the plague that has befallen them.
It is, to my knowledge, one of the more powerful known worlds, at least on frequent spell jamming routes. I've heard tales of some of its people and some of its gods. And I was a bit surprised when Zelith ordered the attack. I mean, certainly it's a rich target, but there are humans there that are older than I am. As I've
mainly.
heard.
I've recently been at their foremost library of the entire world itself, and I did a great deal of study trying to find ways to remedy my own position. And I did come across certain names of impressive feats and legendary power. And of course, as you mentioned, their divinities there are quite strong as well. Your brother is playing a dangerous game.
And I don't wish to see my people suffer further for it.
Well, we will do all that we can to see that your success is our success. And of course, I should warn you that if you betray us, I will destroy you.
She kind of smiles at that. You would try. Respectfully.
He would have help.
Hopefully it won't come to that.
I say this in the spirit of détente, as it were.
Yes.
I do not believe in subterfuge. Not in a courtly sense. I am a man of logic, reason, and fact.
Well,
But-
sir, is there anything else?
No, and I do thank you for answering my questions faithfully, as you have. I have learned much. Did one of you guys say that, or was that my iPad? That was weird.
I didn't hear anything there.
I
I heard somebody say you're welcome, and it didn't sound like you, Greg.
Oh,
Creepy.
I invited a demon to the session. We're supposed to do that with Dungeons and Dragons, right? I sacrificed a virgin and everything.
Oh, damn it! The Satanic Panic was right. Shit. It took 30 years to catch up with me, but here it is.
No. The demons are the Avernus campaign. This is aliens and time travel.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Wait, I was communicating with the aliens.
Maybe we'll run across a rogue Skaven somewhere. Little cross-dimensional thing. or a Marvel superhero will suddenly pop up.
We could always land in Avernus for about a minute.
We found a celestial dragon called Bylong. He will take on the solar dragon.
With very low rolls.
With very low rolls. Oh, that was great.
Sorry, just
And for a time, I'll leave the princess to her thoughts, and I want to watch the vampire and the Aarakocra play dice. I haven't seen this particular game before.
I will remind y'all that you do have some gold.
Yes. Yeah, I don't remember how much it was, but we do have some.
Yeah, because I didn't put it in my own personal inventory, so I don't know how much we have.
I didn't have all the sources written down, but I had that you had collected 150 gold that's marked separate because you found 200 on that Rhaegar that attacked your ship because Felodra said she wanted her 25% of that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we gave that to her, so it's whatever is left from that.
So then you have 300 gold.
Okay.
And a fish suit.
In the fish suit.
And we got a statuette of Orcus carved from the petrified heart of an ogre.
Yeah, that too.
So currently 300 gold. I'm adding that to the notes.
Didn't we give that to the library?
The petrified heart of Orcus? I think we did.
Yes, you're right. You did. I'm sorry. Maybe that's where the first 150 gold came from.
All right,
probably.
I'm going to take that in my notes then. Yeah, because we did not want to keep that shit.
No.
All right, 300 GP currently. Yay! You can actually play and lose your money, Irk.
Actually, Irk's not really much of a gambler.
Okay. And guess what?
Is
Now
he a
we
joker? A midnight toker?
That's right.
Just as you guys are starting to, as Crux is telling you to be ready to cross into the Astral Sea, you see something far off the starboard bow.
Wait,
Klingons?
is that the Joker?
It looks like the Joker's face flying, like a Joker face, like flying through space. You can see it's all whipping around like a little light thing and shit.
It's like Joker. It's Joker's comet.
You see Crux just put up his hand to y'all and kind of indicate quiet.
You can't read my Joker face.
I gotta ask, is this something from Clown Space?
No.
Okay.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Okay, because that's something they added. I knew they put that into 5e Clown Space.
Well, this is what I know. His nose was on time, but he was 10 minutes late.
So you're saying he's literally a killer clown from outer space?
People say the thing about my penis.
Okay, so y'all
I'll get
ignored
inspiration
Crux's...
for that, Greg.
What's that?
That was a good one. No inspiration?
No, sorry. Just a murder comet. No, you can have
No,
inspiration.
inspiration for my Roxanne reference.
Yes, you can have inspiration for the Roxanne.
All right.
Joke.
You'll be unhappy if I play a D&D game because I don't give inspiration for like pop culture references. I give inspiration for you actually doing cool things in game.
I tend to forget inspiration or be unintentionally stingy, so I will give it for either, but I don't mind if you do what Mike just did and ask in a situation where you think it might be warranted, because sometimes I just won't think about it.
Hey man, it's your game to run.
Right, but what I'm saying is if you think you've done something really clever, really cool, or just a cool pop culture call out, don't be afraid to say, hey,
Right, like
is that the initiative? Because I will simply forget sometimes.
Yeah, we're playing a game every other Saturday morning right now where the DM, like we've got to work our way up to our third attunement slot. We've got to like build our fortress up before we can even begin to think about getting a feat. And excitingly, I lost my character today. My character got killed by an undead dragon, so that's
Oh
two
my God.
characters
You're
down in recent
You're
days.
losing characters all over the place, man.
Oh, man. No,
I'll tell you, it's only a matter of time before Greyweird goes down. He's next on the list. I know it.
Yeah. He has been pushing his luck a lot.
He almost died in that last fight we had. If Seamus hadn't grabbed him and ran him off the map, he'd have died.
Oh, that was the fight before because like I was doing so well last week, and then I got cocky because I hadn't taken any damage. And I was like, I'll end this fight real quick, and then I got stabbed in the brain. So there was that. But too much. Don't want to digress from Greg's game anymore.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
that's okay. The comet's turning your way. It's
Oh,
coming
Oh,
towards
shit.
you.
Captain, do you have a spyglass? Commodore.
He's looking through it. He said that's a murder comet.
A murder comic?
All hands.
All right.
I only got wings.
Don't be a dumbass.
All right.
Come on, man. Be like a cartoon and turn those feathers into fingers. Feather fingers.
I totally do. I mean, you can see I'm holding a bow with my little character there. I was just having fun. Sorry.
I know, it's great.
This gigantic half comet, half cloud face just comes alongside your ship and looks over and says, "What are you doing?"
Trying to regain some color in my wings as I've turned completely white.
Okay.
Same thing you are. We are.
You're
sailing.
thinking about attacking a ship and wondering if you should go for the tree first or the captain?
That is contingency.
shit.
That's contingency plan number 18.
Urk is
You hear
currently
Starvo
scanning.
say, "Excuse me? Why is attacking
Urk
me a
is currently
contingency plan?"
scanning the face for any potential weaknesses or spots to shoot.
It looks
Don't
like a
worry.
big,
Sorry. I was about to say, don't worry, Captain. That's only in instances of you betraying us for some reason.
Is there any? Missing
No.
Anything? Do you
it
want me to
looks
roll
like a
for it?
giant comet with a face that's just surfing alongside you and looking at you.
But it is solid then. If it looks like a comet.
Yes.
Okay.
So where are you going?
That's it.
Well, we're on our way to go wage war upon the Astral elves. Would you care to join us?
You're gonna die.
Well, I see. You're afraid. That's understandable. They are quite powerful.
Kid, reverse psychology is not gonna work on me. I wasn't born a big hunk of rock floating through space.
Of course
you,
not.
You aspired to reach that point.
I've taken out more of their ships than your feathery friend here could count. and I'm telling you, you're gonna die.
And yet their empire still stands. I mean, there's a greater challenge than fleets that you can destroy. Why not attack the main source? Really prove yourself.
Prove myself to who?
Yourself.
I
You
have
seem
nothing to prove.
capable. You seem to be full of your own ego. And yet, if taking out their ships is so easy for you, where's the challenge? Where's the excitement? Where's the fun in that? Why don't you really give yourself something to chew on?
The fun, and he looks right at Aventor. He says, the fun is going right for the sides of those star moths and making enough of a hole that they get pulled along in my wake, and then watching them flail as they try to get back, and then flying back and then just exploding in the middle of them.
But imagine your reputation and the fear you would generate across all the spheres if you were to destroy the main outpost of the elves.
Do you think this grade school psychology is going to work on me? I'm comment.
Oh, of course not. I'm just making conversation. But still, it seems like a worthy pursuit to me.
Let's have great soul.
What's your ship's name?
Oh, shit, I done forgot it.
The second wind, isn't it?
Second wind.
The second.
And not
To be
the
fair.
smelly kind.
To be fair, this is not exactly my ship. I am merely a passenger.
Oh. Okay. Whose ship is it?
Just kind of nod at Captain Crux or Commodore Crux.
Crux walks over and says, "Why did you engage it in conversation?"
It's better than having it just run through our hull, isn't it?
Ahoy! Oh. It's you.
Oh, you two have history.
Milo, what are you doing in this part of Wild Space? The comet just looks back and says, "I was bored." All right. And just FYI, I rolled a straight 50-50 shot on whether they were going to know each other.
Yeah.
Milo says, "Okay. Yeah, I should have remembered the second wind. You're still going to die, but
Well, perhaps not if you were to assist us.
yeah, that's not happening."
Why do you want to kill us?
I don't want to kill you. I was thinking about it. Do you know how much effort I went through to become this? Just so I could fly around and do whatever the hell I wanted to do?
How does one become a murder comet?
Yes. We're not born. Do you think we're born like this?
I have no idea.
His first time in wild space.
Well, to be fair, he says, a lot of wizards do just create. And yes, I'm aware that we're called murder comets. They just create them like terrestrial wizards summon elementals and send them on their way. But if you really go to the next level with it, you can put your own consciousness in one, and now I can just fly around everywhere. It's fun.
Did you use the magic jar incantation to achieve this?
No, but I'm not inclined to tell my secrets. I will tell you that the Xaryxians tried to capture me to scout worlds for them.
I knew
A novel
the
idea.
Herald was going to come into this somewhere.
I told them that I would find them 3 worlds if they found me a new surfboard, but they didn't. So I blew up their ship and left.
Well, I mean, do you really wish to see your friend perish?
Crux? I mean, I don't wish him any specific harm, but friend's a bit strong.
You always say that like a generalized harm is totally acceptable, but I'm not talking about something specific I want done to
I mean,
him.
I'll be honest. I'm impressed at how well you put this piece of shit back together, Crux. I haven't seen you since you were limping away from the Xaryxians last time. Crux's whole face just goes dark.
And see, there you go, going on about how we're all going to die, and yet your acquaintance here survived.
If you want to call it that. Jeff, call high or low.
Hi.
Why would it be a 5? I mean, technically that's low, but I don't. Okay, never mind. He just says, all right, well, you know what? I will tell you this. If you're going to attack the Xaryxians, you're going the wrong way. See ya.
Well,
and he starts to leave.
All right. Yeah.
I just turned to the captain. See, sometimes diplomacy does work.
You realize, and Crux exhales, and you realize he was holding his breath that whole time. Those things can do a lot of damage.
I understand that. But I offered him something he likely does not ever experience. Conversation.
Yeah. I mean, he's right about the last time I saw that one. I was drunk and headed back from, well, actually just sailing around after our last attack. And that was years ago. I'm a little surprised he's still in the area.
I imagine most of the times that one comes across a murder comet, there is either fight, flight, or a great deal of begging and pleading. Likely he has never experienced my particular interaction before.
No, I would dare say that's probably pretty rare for him.
I don't know if it would work upon a second encounter, especially not without you being present, but at least for this instance, it has saved us a great deal of trouble.
Nix is running to the back of the ship going, Fell Archer, did you see the big face? Okay. You guys are now approaching the Astral Sea, so is there anything you want to do whilst you're in wild space?
Mm.
Did we ever get the rest in?
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he
Then I
told
think
a while
we're
back.
set then.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have been traveling a few days now.
Yeah. You've been traveling a few days. If anyone wants to fish, you can fish.
You'll do some fishing.
Okay.
Evantor fishes by using his Eldritch Blast and Grasp of Hadar to actually pull fish onto the boat.
Right. Evantor, I will say, you notice that for some reason, when you're manning the spelljamming helm, you hear almost like singing, like shanty type singing, but you can't quite focus on it. It's just out of hearing. And there's a slightly salty smell in the air.
Mm.
Because I found the random shit's quirks tables and decided I would add a few.
Nice. I will ask, doggone, what's the helmsman's name?
Elardra.
Yeah, I'll ask Elardra about that.
She just shakes her head and says, it happens. I don't know if maybe the Mercanes do something to some of the spell jamming helms, or there's just some mystical. Considering they make these things like your world, or not your world, but like the boats they sail on water.
Hmm.
Maybe there's some magical thing. I don't know, but there's nothing to it. You get used to the songs or you ignore them.
It seems as if there's
Or
some
you
sort
have
of.
to have your crewmen tie you to your ship so that you don't go mad and go after them.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Maybe you tie yourself to the helm because you're the only one left after the vampires eaten all of your crew and passengers.
Fel Archer says, sometimes I tie myself to the helm because I'm the king of the world.
So, it seems to be some sort of quasi-magical psychic residue. Fascinating.
Pretty much. Okay, let me see this. If D, you fish with one of Topola's fishing poles, and you catch some tiny inedible fish that she tells you will poison you if you prepare it and eat it.
I die and just throw them back.
Urk, you capture a small hostile gray scaver. I will remind you at this point that Big Mama was a large scaver.
So what does small mean then?
Yeah.
Let me
Fish
check.
feet long?
Let me check.
Yeah, smaller than kaiju size shark could mean a lot of things.
Yeah, that's a broad stroke.
It means we're not going to roll initiative for what would be less than one round. But you do have to kill it. But it is edible and can feed up to 20 people.
That's a big fish.
It's medium. Its size category is, in fact, medium.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that number 18?
Yeah, number 18. Yes.
Yeah.
No, we don't want to have the same result. That's boring. Eventor, you catch 3 tiny glowing fish that Topola tells you are in fact edible.
You can add these to the stores then. They will make a fitting appetizer for someone. In light of Urk's impressive catch. An amuse-bouche, as it were.
Topola says, I miss my autonomes. They make those lovely sauces.
We met a guy named Burley that could really cook a meal, let me tell you.
Not as well as my autonomes.
To be fair, you haven't had Burley's cooking, so you have no basis of comparison.
Can an auto halfling cook as well?
Yeah.
Halflings are known for their culinary expertise.
Yeah, just avoid the number 17.
It's aboard the number 17. That's a great name for a ship as far as an in-joke goes.
I mean, are you asking him? Or are you speaking about him as if he wasn't there?
I was speaking about just musing that out loud.
Okay. He turns to you and says, yes, I can cook. I've cooked twice since you've been on the ship.
Well, they were clearly very memorable meals.
You know what, Bertie?
Here it comes.
He says, hold on. His fishing pole hooked a crate.
You did a dragon from Tatooine?
Oh, God, yeah.
Jen, give me a high or low.
Let's do it this time.
Okay.
Come on, Pylon.
No. But this isn't anything bad. I just wanted to know which table to roll from. You found a crate with 10 bottles of wine
Nice.
just floating through space.
Somewhere out there, Bjorn approves.
Yep. His ear twitches. Somebody say wine?
If this ever happened, we'd always go fishing.
All right. And now you notice that wild space around you is becoming more muted. The darkness itself is fading into a deepening silver haze. Soon, your ship is immersed in the starry silver clouds of the Astral Sea.
Welcome to the Astral Plane, everyone.
And Evan Toril Ardra will say, I assume that you know this, but in order to go to Doom Space, we simply need to concentrate on going to Doom Space.
Yes, indeed.
It's going to take about 21 days. Luckily, air's not a problem, but we're on the Astral Sea, so air's not a problem anyway.
Yeah.
If my companions were here longer, they could enjoy one of the perks of astral space. One does not age while they're here.
Yep.
One can have veritable immortality, as the Gith have found out.
When you say
And the
death,
Astral
I don't
elves
want to be a
themselves.
driver. I just want to go home.
when Nix hears you talking about that, he just walks up and says, yep, you can float out here forever and nothing ever changes.
Like war.
Nothing.
There is that aspect as well.
For hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
Ah, so you have some experience with it.
I do. I used to look like one of Topola's toys, although I was painted more like this.
I take it you were adrift?
Yes. Do you know how long it takes an unliving construct to get bored? I was here longer than that.
Are you truly unliving, though?
I don't know. He says it as his metallic-ish eyes kind of raise, his brows raise a little bit. I don't know what I am. I was made, not born.
You remind me of when the Warforged first awakened on my world. We made them as servitors, warriors, but eventually we made them too well. In the race to make them better and better to suit our purposes, they somehow acquired true life. They have joined us as a free people of their own. They have their own pursuits. They seek their own fulfillment in life. And I do believe that they are truly alive because, and this may find, some of them have even become clerics of various gods and orders.
But we have no soul.
I do not know that for certain.
I was a music player. Nix just looks. He takes out his dagger and he laughs. I was a music player. I was created. My owner called me Nickelodeon. He thought that was hilarious. I have no idea why.
Because you were worth a nickel?
I don't know what a nickel is.
No.
One day when I asked if I could do something else, I scared the hell out of him. And he told me to shut up and play music.
I have a hypothesis. Perhaps it was an element of wild magic that bestowed life. But there are gods in my sphere that deal with order and even things of mechanical nature. Nothing is quite as orderly as something as precise as a well-crafted machine. It is my belief that these particular forces decided to invest our creations with life, that we had caught their attention, though I have no proof of this. I am not alone in this opinion, and yet I am not in the majority of this. There are some amongst my people who want to take this as a mark of our own ingenuity or genius. But as proud as some of you might seem to take me, I do not take this view. We are not gods. We are evolved, but we are men.
We are Devo.
We are Devo. Whip it good.
Nix just says, well, the guy who made me wasn't a god. The guy that he sold me to wasn't a god. I stood in the corner of a bar and I played music for I don't know how long. Now he's dead. And I found myself floating here for a long time.
Well, there's investment on your part to keep this ship in one piece, then, I suspect.
Yes, I don't think I'd run into that same woman again that freed me last time. I amused her. So she touched me and I became more lifelike. Less autonomish.
Interesting. What was her name?
I don't know. She found me floating. She was sitting on a rock, just looking out over the astral sea. When I floated by, she waved and I floated over. She asked me what I did. I said I play music. She asked me to play. It seemed to amuse her, and I guess that was enough. Nice ass, though.
Was it as good as Tamora's?
I was about to say, is like, I wonder if perhaps you encountered a god or goddess and didn't know it.
That seems likely. I don't know.
It was certainly a lucky crossing on your part. But also, if you've drifted here long enough, surely you have seen one of the dead gods.
I have. In my time drifting, I saw ships fly by. I saw dragons fly through. I saw people on silver cords. They all ignored me. But that woman asked me to play. She fixed what was broken with a stroke of my cheek. And then she somehow dispatched me to the Rock of Brawl. So I was lucky.
Serendipitous.
Yep. All right, guys. We actually have an encounter in a moment.
Ooh,
Okay.
Some tea.
I get to test out my new stuff.
Let's take 5.
Nice. Cool.
I'm going to throw something up real good. Mike, put on the stab signal. We're going to kill something.
All right.
I can't cross the streams, man.
Ah. Right,
Get it?
put
They're
up
actual streams.
Just remember, if anybody asks, you are a god.
That's right.
Ooh, encounter.
Yeah, my neck is killing me.
What's wrong?
I don't know. It's it feels like, like if you sleep on it or something, and then the muscles all knotted and stuff. That's what
Right.
it feels like. But I'm not sure why it's doing this all of a sudden.
Oh, that is
I'm
a
on
super
about like 6 Tylenol and some ibuprofen and muscle relaxers, and it still hurts.
Oh, that sucks a lot. Yeah, I definitely do not like having a stiff neck.
I gotta say, I tried to take ACDC's advice and keep a stiff upper lip, but people kept looking at me weird.
Ooh, wonder what sort of crazy encounter we're gonna have in Wild Space, because things are freaky out here. Giant one-eyed space.
We're running into Joker face crazy comets, so who the hell knows?
And we're in the
What we
We'll
gotta
see.
worry about. What we gotta worry about is crits. So far, when we've had encounters in Spelljammer and there have not been crits, we've done okay. But crits seem to do a lot of damage out here. I mean, take you out.
For them or us?
For
To
us.
us.
Me, my character, and one other character, I want to say it might have even been Eventor, took a crap load of damage on a crit.
Yeah, I've been knocked down into some pretty low single-digit numbers a couple of times out here. I'm hoping it's not going to be an Astral Dreadnought.
I gotta say I pooped a little bit at the sound of a solar dragon.
I'm just like, oh my god, dragons that are worse than that ancient red monster we took on in Avernus.
Right? Worse than that. Damn.
Yeah, it's worse than that. The last second edition stuff I played was Spelljammer, and it got pretty gnarly. I loved it.
How do you even fight something like that out in astral space?
Very carefully.
Yeah, it's weird.
On land, you at least have in astral space, they can literally go all around you, completely every direction.
I know that's the messed up thing. Is like you're like, oh, if we're sailing on the seas, it's cool. Like, just stay in the boat, we're good. It's like, no, when Jaws can come up out of the ocean and just grab your ass off the deck, that's a problem.
Yep.
There is no safe space in space.
Yeah.
And no one can hear you scream. Yeah. Whatever it is, it's going to be gnarly and it's going to be cool. Because I didn't even
that-
get back in the day. I didn't even get into a whole lot of like Astral stuff when I was the forever DM. So I'm curious to see what Greg's got cooked up, or maybe if it's just a random table encounter. Either way. We could just run into some gift pirates. That's always a possibility. Their factions are divided up between Limbo and the Astral Sea.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, get Yankee, get Zerai, and whoever. I have thought about playing against Zerai at some point.
I have too. I've always thought the Gith, once they became player options, like, that's a cool option to play. They've got some pretty nifty stuff going on. Although Professor Thaddeus would show them exactly what true mental power was. He'd pull the kind of Bane on, like you use the mind as your ally, but I was born on the mental plane, my friend.
And you believe this gives you power over me?
I was born in darkness.
It will be very painful for you.
I gotta admit, that whole plane hijacking sequence was pretty badass, though. That was definitely. That was like some James Bond shit right there. That was awesome.
Yeah. I did like Tom Hardy. I kind of feel like he had the stature that you needed for Bane.
It's kind of funny
it's
because
just a shame about the voice. It's so hilarious.
Yeah, it's weird because like Christian Bale chose a weird Batman voice and he chose a weird Bane voice. So it's the battle of the strange voices.
Yeah.
What are you saying? I can't understand you. What are you saying? I don't know what to say. What are you saying? Can someone get us an interpreter, please?
I will say there is a clip of Kevin Conroy doing Christian Bale at the end of The Dark Knight, and it was so much better.
I'll tell you something. Like, there's somebody asked Mark Hamill at a con to throw out the "Why so serious" line, and to hear him do it in his Joker voice was really freaking cool.
I've seen a couple of voiceovers of him doing the "Why so serious" and a few other things over Heath Ledger.
I always liked that he was into like Heath's portrayal of the Joker. He said he described it like his slithery tongue, and I was like, that was a pretty neat thing Heath was doing, because the Glasgow smile he had kept him from properly closing his mouth. Now, this isn't something he said. This is something I inferred from it. But I imagine that this is why he was always constantly having to lick his lips, because they were always drying out. Because he's always doing a little bit of mouth breathing because of how janked up his mouth is.
I can see that. I always like the little bit of trivia that Heath Ledger freaked out Michael Caine so much in his first appearance in the movie that Alfred was supposed to have lines, but didn't. Because on the first take, Michael Caine just stood there.
But he did, like, when he grabbed I forget the actress's name now, but
Rachel.
Like when he grabs for the first time Maggie Gyllenhaal, and she wasn't expecting him to like just reach out and grab her face and then whip that knife out. And so you're seeing a very legitimate fear reaction out of her as well. Like, so Heath was just turning it on. And I heard he kind of got, like, after they finished the scene, he got like a standing O from the cast and crew.
believe it.
I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame he kicked off, but like, if you've got to have a final performance, that's a hell of a one to end on. Is everybody back?
Yep.
Yep.
Greg, you ready to kill us?
I am ready to go. I will tell you.
You're gonna love my next character.
We actually just need to go ahead and roll initiative because this doesn't exactly
Alright.
start with someone just flying up.
All
All
right.
right, doing that.
So we're kind of preparing to prepare.
Oh, this is good. Look at all these high initiatives. And then Jennifer does it.
What, you jinxed
I
before I
like it.
rolled.
You did kind of jinx it before
You
for the
did.
roll there.
We need somebody
And that's
who's
a
smart.
cool kind of jinx like Halle Berry.
We need somebody smart to sit back and watch how things play out. Then she'll make her move. I am so not used to being top initiative.
Yeah, especially after all those weeks in Warhammer with like Lenata and Damian being on top of every single time.
I know, man. You guys got the big initiatives on those.
I gotta say, I'm Greybeard's still being willing to use magic despite the things that have happened. Makes me wonder how his balls feel dragging on the ground like that.
I'll clue you into something, Mike, if you haven't picked up on it yet. Greybeard's basically a crack addict for magic at this point.
Yeah.
It's so fucking dangerous.
That doesn't keep people from smoking meth.
I don't know, man. You don't smoke meth and somebody else's teeth get bad.
Yeah, but like, imagine if smoking meth gave you superpowers. You might keep doing it regardless.
I think some people believe that it does.
Yeah, that's true. I blew the wing off a wyvern, and all it cost me was 8 points of corruption.
All it got you was
Only
8
8
points of corruption. Yeah.
All right.
Dude, our corruption. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
We're talking about a wrong game. I'm sorry about that.
You see something, someone-ish, appear on the deck. And
It's a
Someone or something ish.
yeah, very ghosty, very ghosty.
it looks like it's made of translucent starlight.
It looks a little bit like how people look when they go into the Phantom Zone.
Do you
Oh
mean
my god,
or-
it's full of stars.
Perhaps when they go into the astral plane.
Ah,
does it have a silver cord?
Don't believe you see one. It sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius.
Well, it's not sneaking up on anybody.
You do not see a silver cord. So, Aventor,
Yes.
what you gonna do?
that poor
Do
guy
I know-
must have a bitch of a time playing hide and seek.
Do I happen to know if this thing is dangerous or not?
You have no idea.
He doesn't get a sense from it or something?
Apparently, I haven't encountered one of these things before, so if there is a provocation of hostilities, I will prepare an action for Eldritch Blasting.
You know what, Aventor, give me a history check. We're going to say DC 15.
Okay, doke. Let's do that. Yes, sir.
I was curious about that though. Can we feel something off of it? What does it feel like being in its presence?
Really weird. There's a glowing apparition that just appeared on the deck of your ship and is looking at all of you.
Well, yeah, but like if, for instance, if you're in a room with someone that has a rather evil intent, you get a sense from them that something is not quite right. That the something in the room doesn't quite feel right. You know what I mean? Is there anything like that going on?
Oh,
Like,
not all.
You're on a ship sailing through the Astral Sea, which is already way out of your element, and suddenly a humanoid, humanish sized, glowing apparition that is kind of bright on your eyes just appeared.
Oh,
So you
and
haven't had a chance to get a feel for anything.
Mike, that's not always true. I've been up close and personal with many people who had no idea I was going to bury them under my trailer.
It looks clear.
Right?
But you really haven't had time, Mike, if you were trying to get an impression. Eventor, I would say that you know that these apparitions are typically projected from... It is usually the soul of a deceased individual from its resting place, projecting a spectral copy of itself across a vast distance, either with the help of or at the direction of a powerful entity.
All right, I will ready an Eldritch Blast if it does anything hostile, but I will address it and ask, what is your purpose here, spirit?
Kind of cocks its head and speaks, but it's not a language you know.
Most unfortunate. Just to check my languages. Wait, what the hell? I did not put down my languages? I've been running around all this time without my languages? Oh, shame on me.
I do not have comprehend languages, so I can't do anything.
We're not going to make you walk through the city naked or anything.
Well, let's see. No, that's right. I've got them on this sheet, not on my little other sheet here. Yeah, I doubt it. Common, Sylvan, Gnomish, and Deep Speech. So, doubtful. Unless I happen to hit on one by accident.
All I know is common celestial.
I miss having my telepathic character on hand.
I can squawk Arakoke one if you want.
All right.
So you're just preparing an action?
Yeah, I've got my action prepared. If it does anything hostile, I'm gonna blast it.
I take Aventor's cue and I pull out my bow.
Okay, Asteria?
I'm just going to cast Protection from Evil and Good on the off chance it's like one of those things that can possess people.
Yeah, we don't want any more of that.
No, we don't.
Oh man,
One of those things. One of your characters has been. Two of your characters have been possessed with that, where you ended up needing to attacking the rest of us because you were possessed. Damn, that's burly shit when that happens. It's like, what do? You want to stop them, but you don't want to hurt them.
Yep.
Earth,
Not a good.
what are you doing?
Erk is got his bow pointed at that thing, and he's holding a reaction for it to do something.
Okay. Nix just stands there and says, what are we doing here?
I don't know. I don't want to fight it unless, it does anything.
Until it proves itself to be harmful, there is no reason to simply assault it, and yet we do not seem to be able to properly communicate. I do not understand the language it just spoke in response to my addressing it.
Yeah. I don't have any magic for translation.
Nix said, it asks, who do you serve?
Oh. What language does it speak?
It's an elven language, but it's a weird one. It's a rare one. I was built to speak languages, so I pick up on them.
All
Are
right,
you
protocol.
fluid in 6 million forms of
Creepio.
communication?
Yeah, I was about to say, we got our own protocol droid. Awesome. Well, we do not specifically serve anyone, but we do serve the purpose of saving the world of Toril.
Nick says something to it. It says something back. It wants to know if we've seen any dragons.
Nope.
No, we have not.
No.
Pretty sure we would be running the other way if there were any dragons.
That in my pants would not be dry.
Or I might engage them in conversation.
Okay.
I go put on my brown pants just in case.
Now it's its turn. It just turns to float away.
Ask it why it's searching for dragons.
Mm.
It floats just off the ship. It says the old wizard told it to. She says the old wizard told her to.
Which old wizard?
She looks
Are
at
there
you.
really any
He
young
says
wizards?
something. She looks right at Evantor and says, Fizbin.
Fizban?
Heard that name before.
The Fabulous? Oh, well, that would explain why he's so interested in dragons, wouldn't it? It's meta-knowledge, though.
I cannot say I've heard of this Fizban. He was definitely...
I only know the name from the book.
Yeah. I did not find his name amongst the great wizards of Toril at the library. There was Mordenkainen, there was Elminster, there were others. There was a fellow called the Blackthorn, or the Blackstaff. But no Fizban.
Nope. It just turns and starts drifting away.
I've got no reason to keep it.
Yeah.
Okay. Stupid rational party.
Yeah. I can't act on my suspicions because she would have no reason to have that knowledge.
Yeah, no. And I wouldn't see a reason for anyone in this party to know Colonesti either, so.
Yeah.
Nah, you need, like, my really super dumbass just hit things character. You can run up and hit it.
All right. Well, that was fun, wasn't it?
Yep.
Moving on.
I didn't get to use my new stuff.
Give it time. After some days pass, the silvery haze begins to thin as the ship enters a system, but you do not see, at least within your line of sight in any direction, a sun. The second wind glides between colossal fragments of what appear to be a smoky gray crystal with sharp edges, a mile thick and hundreds of thousands of miles in any direction.
Wow.
And I don't suppose it's talking to an android named Lore, is it?
It is not. It looks like remnants of a shell that had been shattered. As silent and lifeless as a graveyard, Doom Space gives new meaning to the phrase dead of night.
Wait a second. Shards of crystal? A vast plain of shards of crystal that looks like a shattered shell? Does this look like the remains of a sphere?
It looks, since you ask, you would guess that this sphere either was encased in crystal or someone tried to encase it in crystal. And you're seeing the shards of that crystal.
Does it bear any resemblance to the crystal seeds that have been planted on Toril either?
No, it looks like a brownish gray smoky crystal.
Okay.
It looks, if it were possible for a crystal to look dead, it would look dead. And after 3 days of carefully sailing through a labyrinth of crystal shards, you see off in the distance, against the darkness of space, a yawning black vortex.
Best not to get too close.
Oh, it's far away.
Some of you guys might realize, having seen the effects of my spells, that a lot of my spells resemble things like this.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's probably a black hole, but I wouldn't know that.
Damn.
There are many wonderful and many terrible mysteries to be found in wild space and these outer planes.
Oftentimes, wonderful and terrible are based solely on perspective.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Wisely said, Eric.
Yeah. Or is there a ship with a bunch of humans and 2 robots going in there?
It's cold outside. Kind of atmosphere.
Yeah.
You're all alone, more or less.
Yeah. My arms are too long.
Okay, nobody gets inspiration because nobody picked up the Red Dwarf reference.
I haven't seen all of Red Dwarf.
I haven't seen much of Red Dwarf at all.
Episode.
Okay.
Oh,
I was just speaking some lines from the theme song.
Gotcha.
Oh, the theme song. Duh. Speaking of which, I don't know if you guys saw it, but they're talking about bringing Red Dwarf back.
I did see that.
I've not heard that.
Very exciting news. Wonder what other sights await us. I'd forgotten how much I missed this.
stuck on Toril with its weight and density. Everything was so slow and noisy there.
Topla
ahead.
comes up and says, Doom Space.
We've passed out the astral plane. Okay. Have you been here often?
No.
Have you been here ever?
Once.
What did you encounter?
Darkness. Rumors. Supposedly, and she gestures towards the yawning black vortex. This space used to have a name, the star. Thousands, hundreds of thousands, I don't know. Millions, who can say, years ago. Years and years and years. There was a war. Fight, territory, politics, greed. I don't know. Some say gods, some say titans, some say primordials. Doesn't matter at that level, but it ended, so they say, with the gods being banished. And as a result, the entities that remained behind built a shell, a crystal sphere, to keep the gods at bay. After eons, it's said that the gods found a way to shatter the crystal sphere. No one knows how, of course. I mean, you saw what we sailed through. There's supposedly the remnants of that sphere.
What could banish a god?
I don't know.
A host of other
Soul
gods.
Skull?
What could shatter that crystal, because no one has been able to make a dent in it since. And people have tried. They thought they could fashion weapons or shields or ships or whatever. Some say the gods appeared before the leaders of the worlds here and demanded worship. Some say they simply came in vengeful. Either way, they collapsed the sun that used to light this system, leaving behind what you see in front of you. They call it the Eye of Doom. Those who deny the existence of gods refute those claims and turn to other explanations. Perhaps the sun was slain by a primordial, taking the form of a comet. Maybe the sun was the shell of a great dragon egg that finally hatched. Maybe it simply collapsed in on itself. Maybe the Eye of Doom is a gateway to something even worse. All anyone knows is that this system is dying. So welcome. Topla says you have my celestial orrery.
Oh,
Indeed.
yeah. We can go ahead and use that.
Let us see if we can find the meeting place that Commander Crux expects to encounter his
Well,
combat.
the orrery shows the black vortex with 2 planets slowly spiraling around it. The system also has 12 moons, one close to the vortex, one orbiting each planet, each of the 2 planets, and 9 outer moonlets. Crux points at the biggest of one of the outer moons and says, "There. Arun is just 7 days hence. With luck, that's where we'll find Warwick Blastimov. His mission here was to create unity and forge a fighting force to attack the Xaryxians, and knowing him, he's done a bang-up job."
Yeah. See what's he done here.
I'm just going to share this to you rather than stripping the names away.
Okay.
Boom.
Because they didn't give me a handout, so you get the annotated version. The middle, of course, is the Eye of Doom. Vault is a moon, but there's no planet. It is suspected that its planet has already fallen into the Eye of Doom, and that Vault is probably no more than a few months from following it. Byrene, the planet, is about 200 million miles from your current position, according to the orrery. Malice is about 400 million miles. And if you look to the left, those 9 moonlets, the moons of N, Arun on the left is where Crux is pointing.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to be anywhere near the Eye of Doom, so that seems like a logical place to go.
That's 6 days from here.
Yep.
Okay.
Steady on then.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions before we head that way?
I'm good.
Can we expect any aggressive fauna here?
Crux says, I mean, there are people that live here. I mean, that's why Warwick came this way. Looking for help. I guess there's no more or less danger than anywhere else, to be honest. But I'm sure once we meet up with Warwick and his forces, it will be fine.
The forces of Lee.
Yeah.
Okay, so no one's going to ask why the 9 moons of N don't have a planet, or why there isn't anything called N near them.
I kind of figured the Eye of Doom had something to do with that.
Yeah, it seems like the Eye of Doom might have sucked up all the planets, but then
Well,
again,
Farron and there are those 2 planets, each of which has a moon. The 9 moons of N, there is more information about each. If you want to know specifically more about life here, I can tell you what he knows of those moons.
Sure.
I'll chat with Topol about it.
All right. Well, Vault was actually the closest moon to the Eye of Doom was one of Firene's moons until it was ripped away, and it is weeks, maybe even days, from disappearing into the vortex. Firene, the closest world to the Eye of Doom proper, is a volcanic world, populated, as far as anyone knows, still populated by dragons, who fight each other viciously for its resources.
An entire world populated by dragons.
Well, no one else can really live there because the temperatures plunged dramatically after the collapse of the sun, however many eons ago. But the planet generates enough heat that the dragons survive. When it's said that Mercanes and Dowers evacuated thousands of creatures from Fyrene when the sun collapsed. Many of these creatures were deposited on the 9 moons of En or borne safely to other wild space systems, while millions more creatures were left to be swallowed by the Eye of Doom. Cryos, the smaller of Fyrene's 2 moons, still orbits the planet, but it's likely getting pulled away too. Malice was a world of water that is now sheathed in ice. Its surface is covered with sheer mountains and deep canyons of slick ice. A moon-shaped spindle of ice that's believed to once be a shard of the planet orbits it. And that spindle is home to a nation of highly intelligent but xenophobic Yeti who show no inclination of leaving. And, as far as anyone has been told, was a titanic gas giant. And it's said
Grandpa.
that the gases from N were used to help produce the crystal sphere that enclosed this space. But nothing remains of what it was except for a calculated center of gravity amongst the moons. Arun has a few types of creatures. Gavek is a moon dotted with sheer mountains that were last known to be populated by death dogs, gorgons, hydras, frogs, and tribes of Aarakocra. Innovar is a swirling ball of multicolored gas with an intense flickering light in the center that no one's been able to explore. Shalar is an ice moon with a ring of ice crystals. Humans evacuated from Fyrene have built camps on the polar ice caps, but dinosaurs roam the equatorial regions, feeding on the scant vegetation. Thread has deep canyons crisscrossing the surface of this giant ball of ice. The canyons are heated by thermal vents and inhabited by various creatures, but it is inevitably cooling. Vocanth is composed entirely of toxic green gas. So, there you go. Some information on the moons. Any questions?
Yeah, I think Arun is probably where we're going to be heading.
Yeah, that's where Crux pointed you.
Yeah.
All right. As Crux said, it takes you about 7 days through wild space. There's just kind of an oppressive, aura here. Maybe the fact that, you see no stars, just darkness. But as you approach Arun, flashes of light on the surface can be seen from orbit. As the ship descends, you see a wasteland dotted with pillars of rock. Arcs of lightning leap from pillar to pillar. The ship heads towards a plateau that is 100 feet tall, a mile wide, and covered with jungle foliage. Knowing that the ship cannot land safely, Crux gives the order for the ship to hover just above the treetops, then shouts, "Mr. Flinch, drop the ladder." On that command, the Thrycreen releases one end of a rope ladder that extends 50 feet to the ground. The jungle below is alive with the sounds of wildlife. Crux looks over at you and says, "Well, who shall join me on the away team?"
I guess we're going.
I'll go.
We'll tell you that the princess and Topola neither make a move to join your away team. Crux, of course, insists that the party come along to meet Warwick.
All right.
And
Is Nick's coming?
Yep, he'll come. I mean, actually, he'll ask you what you want him to do.
Yeah. I think you should come.
Okay. Give me just a moment.
Did Bracy take that Hollow Man serum? Oh, there he is.
Oh, that's better. Oh, that's much better. Now I forgot what was the last thing Greg said.
Just that you parked above the trees, dropped the ladder, and we're climbing down.
Yeah, and we're bringing Nick's with us.
Those of you that need to climb.
Yeah.
And please leave your red jackets behind.
I don't need to climb, but I'm trying not to use my wings unless I need them.
I didn't catch that, Jen. What did
For a
you say?
minute, so.
I said, and
She
please
said-
leave your red jackets behind.
Yes. No red jackets on this trip, I must insist.
No jacket required.
All
That's
right,
not comforting either.
let's make our way down.
If we're not wearing jackets, how do they know who to kill?
They just don't discriminate. They kill everyone. They're fair.
That's not the rules established in Star Trek, the original series.
Right, Carol.
Unless you're Scotty, you gotta die.
What can I say? Kirk was a lousy captain.
I would say that Kirk was a lousy Starfleet officer, but a good captain.
He both.
A good captain would stay with the ship.
There were too many women out there that needed me, Kiff.
No, a good Starfleet officer would stay with the ship.
Not if the Starfleet officer was assigned to the away team. All right.
Thank you, it's privileges. I assigned myself.
Sorry. Okay, everyone climbs down the ladder. Yeah, as soon as you set foot on that plateau, a shot rings out. A few seconds later, a uniformed gift. Oh, sorry, hold on. I don't have an actual map here, so we're doing this.
Okie doke.
Okay. Get out of here, Doom Space.
A shot rings out. A few seconds later, a uniformed gift bursts through the foliage with a musket in one hand and a look of panic on his face. "Apologies in advance," he shouts as he makes his way to the rope ladder. This greenish or bluish spot is your ship hovering 50 feet above the ground.
Okay. Remember where we parked.
Yeah.
Pellets of radiant light fly through the air, narrowly missing you as several starfish-like plant creatures creep out of the jungle and advance threateningly. I need initiative.
Oh, all right.
It's
And Mike, there is no question of their intent. They are lobbing luminous pellets at you.
Okay. Uh-oh, I got 13.
Yeah, now I
That's
get
not good.
the roll.
Why did I have
Now you crit, Jeff. What's up with that?
I did an initiative. I wanted to crit on some damage. This is not where I choose to crit.
Right?
I get twice the initiative for critting.
Let's see.
I like how this gift just decided to help himself to our boat.
Well, he just grabbed the bottom of the rope ladder so far. He hasn't actually climbed anywhere.
Mhm.
Care to explain what's going on, newcomer?
You'll see.
Hey, time out for a second. Full disclosure, I just took some more Tylenol and another muscle relaxer. If I don't start, my neck doesn't start feeling better in about a half an hour, I gotta go lay down.
Okay, well, let us know for sure.
Okay.
I mean, do you think we should call it here, or do you want to?
No, I'd like
See how
to
it
I'd like to
goes.
try and play. I'd like to play if I can, and I hope that maybe this stuff kicks in and the pain starts going away a little bit.
Okay.
I'd like to give it about a half an hour. That should give it enough time for the meds to start kicking in.
We can do that. Okay, what you all see are creatures emerging from the foliage behind him. And I'll show you very quickly what they look like.
These starfish aren't going to try and attach to our face and take over our minds, are they?
Time will tell.
All right, Starro. This is the wrong universe. Get your ass out of here.
And Jaro's nowhere to be found. That is what the one in the lead looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Very pleasant fellow.
Dude, even his tendrils have tendrils.
That is correct. And
That's
then
pretty-
the ones behind him look more like this.
Holy crap.
Yeah, and his tendrils have spikes.
I gotta say, he's got a bit of a prickly personality.
You know what? I prefer to be hugged by the first guy.
Yes. If hugs are going around, I would like to be hugged by the first guy.
All right. Evan. Oh, actually, sorry. I need to space these guys out a little bit.
Oh, I gotta back out then. There we go.
Aventor.
Alrighty. Well, if there is no doubt about their intention, let's see. That's one action to cast. Let me check this real quick. Where is it? Grasp deep. Does that require an action or a bonus action? Oh, good. Bonus action. And how far away? Okay, good. I can send it out 60 feet. So, since they're very obviously hostile, as you have stated, there is no doubting their intention. let's just go ahead and get down to this. I will project my void sphere. Summon singularity, and this is not the familiar. This is going to be my grasp of the deep, which I am feature. So basically, my equivalent of a spiritual weapon, and it will make a spell attack. And for my actual cast spell, I will cast Melf's Minute Meteors. And a halo of small black spheres will start cycling around my head.
Nice.
But in the meantime, let's see if this hits. Will an 18 hit?
That guy that you're beside?
Yeah, this one right here.
Yes.
All right, that is going to do a D8 of cold damage. And it's going to slow the speed of that particular individual by 10 feet.
Okay.
And I will take some of my movement to pace myself out this way a little bit.
Okay. D.
Just don't want to be grouped up.
I'm gonna cast Blur on myself.
Uh-huh.
I'm having a hard time hearing you, Jen. What did she say?
I'm gonna cast Blur on myself.
Ah,
Blur's good.
And that's what I'll do this time. That's all I can do.
A lot of preparatory stuff going off.
I'm going to be doing a little preparatory stuff myself.
Nyx will throw at the one that Aventur's Void thing went for. $20 hits.
Piercing.
Actually, 24 piercing.
Oh, shit. That's quite a crossbow.
Well,
Feel
can't
like
help. I always love sneak attacks.
Yep.
It is still up though.
Oh,
Nyx.
I forgot you were using a crossbow. I would have cursed you with Eleuthria.
Imagine now she's probably pretty good with a crossbow.
Yeah, it has been a while since you tried it.
Yeah,
It
and
was
my dex was
definitely
much
not your
lower.
friend at one time.
Yeah.
This one runs forward with seeming no concern for its own well-being.
drones.
Or kamikaze.
If they say Allahu Akbar, run for it. Totally said that all wrong.
And Warwick gets hit with 2 radiant pellets that it spits out at him.
Oh, dang. They's dropping some bars and spitting some fire, son.
Damn.
Oh, jeez.
And he takes him some radiant damage. And then, from this thing's weird ass head that just seems to bob above its whatever. Let me double check this. Yep. A tongue comes out.
That's it. Wow, Gene Simmons would be proud.
Yep.
And
You want to hear some funny shit?
Warwick-
Listen to the rumors that went around about Gene Simmons' tongue.
I remember back in the day, they used to say he had a cow tongue sewed to his natural tongue.
Yep, I heard that
remember
one
hearing
too. Yeah. The shit people would
Warwick.
believe back before there was internet.
Grappled and pulled backwards.
Oh, whoa. Thing thinks it's a giant toad.
He's pulled back to here. And for some reason, that's a recharge thing. Irk. You've got one of the things damaged by Aventur and Nyx, and you have another one.
And is it
It's
this
got
one
the
here
new
that is
guy with
damaged?
its tongue. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We are going to use my longbow. Hold on a second. Let me see if I need to do this first. Okay, hold on. We are going to do. Where is it? No? Okay, I guess we are going to do Planar Warrior on that guy. I can see within 30 feet. Next time I hit him with a weapon attack, all damage dealt by that becomes force damage, and it takes an extra D8 force damage.
There you go.
And then I'm going to attack him. 21, so that's 23.
That's a hit.
All right. And then I'm going to declare him my favored foe and add an extra D4 to this damage.
Oh, man. Piling it on.
Yep. Okay. Plus the favored foe and then the force damage. All right. So that is 13 force damage.
And it drops.
Damn.
All right. And I got another attack. How about this guy up here?
Okay, I'll remind you that this one is holding a gift by its tongue.
I can't shoot. There's something. This guy is in the way of me shooting him.
That's true. Just letting you know. So you're going for this one?
I was aiming for that one, but
Oh, that one. Okay.
I mean, I suppose I could take a movement and go down.
No,
there.
you're fine. I just wanted to make sure I was getting the right one.
Well, I wasn't necessarily paying attention to that guy having him, so I guess if I take a step back and down, I could get to him.
You know, if
This
you
guy here.
went vertical to like 10 or 12 feet, you'd probably be able to shoot right over this guy.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that. Now, if I'm reading this correctly, I can declare a favored foe up to my proficiency bonus, which is 3.
Let me take a quick gander. I think that
Use
might
this
be.
feature to mark a favorite enemy a number of times. Oh, you're marking them a number of times, I guess.
Yeah, it's concentration. It'll last. I'm pretty sure it lasts for 1 minute, and you can use it 3 times per long rest. Because
Okay.
it's going by your proficiency bonus.
Okay, so then we will do. I could have sworn there was another one. All right. I guess we're just going to attack.
Yeah. So if you wanted to use it again, you could spend another use of it on another creature.
Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I just have to hit this guy first. 24. On this guy here.
It's a hit.
All right.
Dude's got some serious bow skills today.
And then another D8 on top, which turns all of this into force damage. So 13 force damage.
And just to be clear, which one was that against?
This is the one holding the guy in his mouth, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Now, got a bunch of creepy ass plants coming after you.
Well, if that did not take him down, I'm going to go ahead and use my action search.
Oh, no, that didn't take him down.
Okay.
He's going to unload on him.
Oh, yeah, 26. That's a hit.
Damn, man, each roll keeps getting better.
All right. And all right, 13 force damage.
Okay.
And I guess that's it.
Wait, you use action surge?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
That means you get to use
Oh,
your
I
two...
get to do the attack. I can attack twice. That's right.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
So hit him again.
All right, 24. That hits.
Winner, winner, chicken
And
dinner.
8 again. And
The planar warrior.
all right,
Another-
this time
Nice.
we got 15. No, 14. I can count.
I thought planar warrior was just next time you hit the creature you designate.
Never know.
Let's see, I think you might be right.
Yeah, the next time it is. Just the next time. So just the 8 damage on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, the hunter's mark turns all of your attacks into an extra d6 of damage, but it doesn't turn it into force damage.
Right. I was looking for that hunter's mark. I couldn't find it on there.
Second level spell.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Okay. This plant kind of slides forward on its creepy tentacles and spits 2 radiant seeds at you. It shouldn't be advantage, but 18 hits the first one.
Okay.
So you take 8 points of radiant damage from a pellet splashing against you.
Splash.
And then As a bonus action, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Phew.
12.
You avoid the tongue that flashed in the air at you.
Unlike Seamus, he's not getting any tongue.
No.
You want some tongue?
This one comes forward. He is
Oh, and
shooting.
in fact, after hearing that, I don't think I want tongue again.
Oh, Crux got hit with 1 pellet. For 5. And Crux did not make his saving throw. So Crux is grabbed by the tongue.
No! The tongue! Everyone's getting the tongue!
This one is also going to spit at Urk because Urk attacked its leader.
So he's gonna spit on me? This isn't a fucking punk show, dude.
Yeah. Hey, it rolled bad though.
He missed you twice, but I need another dex save.
Cause I was dodging the spit.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm not going where I thought I was going. Holding it back.
21.
You avoid another tongue.
That's right. You ain't gonna be licking me. That ain't happening.
This one comes up to Warwick and just starts pounding on him with its branches. And it hits him once. For 12. Damn. This thing's good. They hit hard. Hysteria.
All right, let's see how they like burning. We're going to start with a scorching ray on this dude. I just want to see if it works first. Does 16 hit?
It does.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. On which one?
This guy right here.
Yeah, it hits. So.
Or then he takes 11 points of damage. Great.
Okay.
Sure that hits.
Oh yeah.
God, I hope so.
Another 11 points.
Very inconsistent.
Nice. With a deuce.
Double deuce.
Does a 14 hit?
No.
Okay, so I think we got closer to its DC. All right, then I think what I'm going to do is they're getting a little too close, so let's get over here.
All right.
Being a ranged attacker did not make you a pussy.
No.
Although barbarians might give you dirty looks.
Yeah.
They can give me the dirty looks. We invented guns for a reason.
Warwick frees himself.
Oh, nice.
By the power of Wicket.
That was clever, Mike. That was clever.
And He then gets 1 attack. And he hit.
For those who might not get that joke out there, Warwick Davis played Wicket O'Warwick, the
Right.
Ewok, Star Wars: Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, baby.
And Willow, among many other things.
Mm-hmm.
Although I really only care about those 2 roles.
Oh, that's right. You hate Con.
Oh, God, I forgot Crux got pulled by those things, too.
Yeah, he did. Crux is getting Frenched over there.
Yeah.
He does not free himself.
These
If you
things
want me
give
to
you.
get into a horror movie that is going to be cheesy or corny or something like that, it has to be like Evil Dead 2 is like the peak of that. You can't get better than that for that level, in that category of movie.
Groovy.
Yes.
Oh no, Warwick's got some pretty good one-liners in Leprechaun.
I can't defend that movie, so okay.
I can't either.
Hey man,
Right.
he chases Jennifer Aniston on a big wheel. That was awesome.
Well, you know what? That was what, the 80s?
Yes.
If all I
Latter
had
80s, I
available
think.
was a big wheel, I would have chased Jennifer Aniston on the big wheel too.
That was Jennifer Aniston's first role, as I recall.
Yeah.
Leprechaun, yeah.
All right, Evantor, you have various of these things around, and one of them has Commodore Crux in its tongue.
Yep. Let's do something about that guy.
Is there a way you could cut off the tongue?
Yeah, I'm not going to go for a called shot. That might be too hard to hit. I'm just going to hit the guy in question. I'm going to go up about 20 feet, so I've got a good line of sight on him. And I'm going to start off with some Eldritch Blasting. Let's do that. See if that drops first.
Good news, my neck is feeling better.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
All right,
Yeah.
1 hit.
All right, so now what? I didn't want the roll the damage. Roll the damage. I hit the wrong thing. There we go. So 8 points of force damage, and it is pushed 10 feet away. Does it take the commander with it? Commodore with him?
Let me think. I am going to give him a roll with disadvantage to see if he can brace himself as it gets pushed away. And he does.
All right, and now I'm going to send 2 of my little spheres of death at this thing. So I'm going to be rolling for Eldritch Blast, but the damage is going to be different.
Okay.
Still a spell attack, so 1 and a 2. Because I get to throw those out as a bonus action.
1 hit.
Damn. All right, and that's going to be 2d6 fire damage as they... really? Just 3 points of damage? Oh, that sucks balls. All right, 3 points of fire damage as the accretion disc on the outside of my teeny tiny black hole strikes this thing. And the matter hitting the event horizon bursts into flame. That was not fair.
So it's a weed whacker.
This case, yeah.
Because that's literally an Artuk weedling. So it's a weedling whacker.
Well, I guess I'm officially the landscaper to the stars.
Or in this case, the starless.
That sounds like you have a whole other job, actually. Landscaper to the stars.
All
The
right.
weed fluffer.
Oh,
But yeah, that's all I can
that's
do
a
this
different kind of jamming.
right.
D.
I got to hand it to us. We went pretty long in this particular game without going there, but we eventually got to it.
So from below that bottom weedling, I am casting Fairy Fire. So anything in a 20-foot cube must make a dex saving throw.
From this guy?
From right below him.
So that would be these two.
Actually, it will be the boss, the one above him, and himself. That should
Okay.
target those three.
So
1, 2, 3,
let's
4.
do this.
I think you're not looking at the spacing right.
I mean, if you cast it right on that one, then you can get the boss.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, let me
Or
pull
just
out
just below them will work. Like if you cast it here.
I was trying to not let it get our ally. That's the problem. So yeah, if I cast it right on that one, because that was the intent to get those three.
Yeah, you'll catch all 3 of these.
Yeah, you can get those 3 guys. That's fine.
Yeah, because this thing right here, that black sphere doesn't matter. It's not an actual creature.
I may have to look at that. That would be the 16.
It's a floating singularity, isn't it?
It is. But it is not a creature. It's basically like a magical construct. It's like a spiritual hammer.
And it seems to be drifting ever so slightly towards skyward, Evantor. Nothing that would make it unusable. You just notice there seems to be a gravimetric pull on it. Just a slight one.
All right.
Okay. The boss is reamed in fairy fire.
That's the only one it got?
No, I haven't rolled the other 2 yet. Damn.
Come on, let's make it a
The
trifecta.
lower one is reamed in fairy fire.
Come on, hat trick. Yes.
They're all reamed in fairy. Your fairy fire got all 3 of them. Damn.
That's the
Damn.
most effective one I've ever done.
That's for sure.
Damn.
Seriously.
They're
2, 3, and 8.
They're glowing a pretty violet color.
Okay. Do you have a bonus action or anything, D?
I do not have a bonus action I can use.
Okay, but you just gave Nyx advantage
Yep.
against the boss.
Doesn't Nyx already have an advantage being a god and everything?
I'm
Greek
sorry.
mythology, kids. Study it. See, we're an educational program.
Either that or we're just a bunch of nerds.
We are so a bunch of nerds.
Mm-hmm.
We were playing this game before it was cool, everybody.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Well, you guys were. I played it a few times before it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the most of OGs, but I was back there in '81.
Yeah. I go back to 2nd edition, so I've played a few.
No comment. Sure, making me feel old.
I was not there in '78 for the startup, or was it '74 that it started? I think it was '78.
78 was when the first box set came out. 74, I think, is when Gygax and the others talked about starting it. And there was a predecessor game that I didn't remember. But I got my first set from a yard sale in 79 because someone had bought it in 78, decided they didn't understand it.
Oh man, I might have been playing this earlier than I thought. I remember getting the box set, or at least one of my friends got the box set, and that's how we got started.
It didn't even My first one didn't even have dice in it. It didn't even have the dice that you colored with the white crayon. It had chits where you would have like 20, 1 through 20 on a chit and like draw them from a hat. I'm dead serious.
Mine had dice, so I had a later edition, or we had
Well,
a later edition.
When I got the expert set and then the advanced set, they had the light blue dice that came with the white crayon.
Hmm.
We didn't have no fancy sparkly dice. We had the dice with the crayon.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah,
played
you kids
keep on
and
the.
your fancy sparkly dice.
That's right. And your separate D10 and D100. Your separate 10s and 1 dice for D100s. Nah. We had 6 light blue dice that we colored in with white crayon. And we played keep on the borderland, damn it.
I'll tell you the thing that made us super cautious is like having to creep our way in and like hand draw our map on graph paper. Boy, whoever owned graph paper back in the day was making a killing.
Oh, so much graph paper. And then a few years later when I got introduced to hex graph paper, that was the shit, man. All right.
Yeah.
Nix takes out his crossbow, whistles a tune, and shoots the boss man dead.
Nice.
Does Nix have a tall red mohawk by any chance?
Nix does not have a mohawk. My apologies.
Is he calling himself Mary Poppins?
Hold on.
I'm Mary Poppins, yo.
I showed you, but come on. It's not letting me show you what Nix looks like.
You know, I met Michael Rooker at a con before the movie came out, and I thought they were doing a remake of Taxi Driver because he had a mohawk and he was wearing like an olive drab green T-shirt and wearing some dark sunglasses. I was like, dude, are you remaking Taxi Driver? Because he just purposely wanted to dress up like the Bickle character.
Right.
I had no idea he was like he'd shaved his head for Guardians of the Galaxy yet. Like nobody even knew that movie was like a thing.
Right.
Well, no one would have suspected him to be Yondu anyway, because Yondu was from the original Guardians, and they're from the year 3000 in the war against the Badoon.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And nobody remembers them anymore.
It was nice that they did give them a little cameo in the movie. You know, you could see Nikki Six and Martin X in Guardians 2.
Yeah, even Charlie.
Yeah. And Starhawk was basically the Stallone character.
Yeah. They were badasses.
And then there was Sorcerer Supreme, weird space dragon.
Kragar, yeah.
Kragar, thank you.
Yep. All right. Where were we? Oh,
Jim Valentino didn't get enough credit on that book and for creating some of the characters he did.
For sure. He made Cosmic Ghost Rider before somebody else made Cosmic Ghost Rider.
He did.
I'm tempted to read that just because it's Frank Castle, but it sounds stupid.
I refuse to read it, and that's actually
stupid.
part of the reason.
It's, you know, Mike, you're making the right decision. It's shockingly dumb.
I mean, seriously. Cosmic Ghost Rider is a dumb enough idea, in my opinion. But
well, honestly, I'm a huge Ghost Rider fan. I'm a huge Frank Castle fan. You'd think putting them together would sound cool, but it doesn't.
Not everything is peanut butter and jelly.
It would be cool if they did not give him the personality of Deadpool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. That's not Frank Castle at all.
You know, I read through the Frank Castle Frankenstein dead period.
Frankencastle, yeah.
And I still don't want to deal with Castle as Cosmic Ghost. I'm a Ghost Rider fan, but I'm a Blaze Catch, and okay, Robbie Reyes was all right.
Yeah, I hate Frankencastle. the only weird alternative Frank Castle I got into for a while when like he was like angel possessed, but
it's possessed by a demon, actually.
No, he was on the side of the angels for a while. Literally.
Yeah, he was.
yeah, he
Yeah.
had like angelic guns and a sigil on his forehead.
And then he told Heaven what they could do with themselves.
Yeah, and then Garth Ennis came in and fixed him and made him real Frank Castle again.
Yep.
Yep. Sorry. Anyway. Oh, it was the boss's turn, but the boss is dead, so it's Urk's turn.
Okay. Let's see. What do we got going on here?
Hopefully, our numerous comic book viewers enjoy our nerdy comic book sidebars.
I guess we will go.
Hey, look at
Sorry.
him, Elvis. Out.
That is Nick's, by the way.
Yeah, I like it. I dig it. He looks like a
Yeah.
rocker.
He does.
He looks like that guy, the guitar player from Jane's Addiction.
Mhm.
Nice. Been caught stealing when I was 5.
How's this guy doing here?
I mean, he's been burned a few times.
Well,
He's looking rough.
see what we can do.
You don't really have much of a basis for measurement. They're plants, but
You can
Right.
get advantage if you shoot at these two guys.
true.
21.
Not that you
23.
need it.
No,
Because
you
honestly-
hit.
And I'm gonna. What was it? Was it sharpshooter? No, that's not it. Where is the other one?
Hunter's Mark.
Hunter's Mark. It's a magic spell. That's right. There you are.
Range. Oh. Range a spell.
90 feet.
Okay.
He's in range.
Yeah.
All right. So that's 8, and then it's a 1d6, I think, with the Hunter's Mark. Let me read it real quick.
Yep.
Is that what the 5 is? By Hunter's Mark?
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yep.
It went ahead and rolled it when he clicked it. For 13 points of damage.
Yeah. I don't know how a plant that's effectively on 4 pseudopods sways, but he's swaying. He's looking pretty rough.
He's leaking
All right.
sap. Leaking so much sap.
I mean, he's been burned, and somehow that arrow. How does an arrow hurt a plant? But it did.
I know you've been burned before, baby, but I got to do it to you again.
Greg, he is just pumping out xylem and phloem. It's all coming out.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
I crit failed that sumbitch.
Whoa.
So I talked a bunch of shit, and I'm going to stand here looking like a dumbass.
you got a really good shot on him, but then you had a vision of those 2 tongues that came flying at you a few seconds ago, and just twitched a little bit. And your arrow just went spinning off into the distance.
That plant tried to molest me with its stamen.
Oh, man. Memories of Grease
Oh,
2,
man.
the movie.
I was thinking of Evil Dead.
Where does the pollen go?
Pollen go. After you get inspiration.
Yes.
Okay, that planet is now looking at Urk.
Just remember, if you miss your period, you can make it up after school.
Urk, I need a deck save.
Well, I'm a fucking bird. I think I might be able to do this one.
Come on, Irk.
I hope so, because there's a tongue coming at you. But you
22.
dodged it.
He's dodgy. He's so dodgy.
So, you got hit by one radiant pellet that it spit at you
Ding.
Spitting on me?
for 9 points of radiant damage.
Damn, June. I really don't appreciate being spit on.
That's what happens when they don't swallow.
Urk, I need another deck save.
They like you, man. They like the taste of chicken.
Okay,
17.
you're fine. No, they're paying attention to him knocking the shit out of that one.
Irk is incredibly invasive.
Miss, and that's a hit. So you take 8 more radiant damage.
All right.
This one is going for Nyx because he's in between him and Eleutheria. Nyx avoids the tongue. He gets hit with one pellet. And then somehow the thing seems to choke on the other one. But I don't know what a critical fail is when you're spitting a pellet.
Exploded in his own stamen. Yeah.
This one, Aventor,
Yep, I knew it was coming my turn sooner or later.
give me that deck save.
Deck save. Come
You're
on,
floating around
Evan.
in the air. You got to have some good decks.
Actually, I'm all about wisdom and charisma, so we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to use that inspiration.
Okay.
Let's just go ahead and fire that off, shall we?
Well, that was a little better.
It starts to get you, and then at the last minute you think, where does the pollen go? And you dodge it.
Woo! Thank you, inspiration.
But it got you with one radiant pellet. Or
Yes, it did.
5 radiant damage.
All right.
And then this one is going back for Crux.
I automatically think of Boja when I hear radiant damage now.
And Crux managed
He's
to
really good at
fail save again.
Damn, man, you're a hippo. Save on this shit. At least
I mean,
he's got to break free.
they're not the most dexterous types.
Mm-hmm.
You've never been chased.
Well, hippos might be, but GIF aren't.
Hippos.
He got hit twice.
Hippos be like this.
Got a mouth that covers a quarter square mile.
Okay, Crux just got pummeled
Mm.
hard,
I'll see what I can do to help him out.
and it's hysteria.
All right. I'm going to start unleashing hell. I'm going to quicken a scorching ray at 3rd level.
Okay. Remember, if you are attacked, this one has fairy fire around it.
Yeah, I was going to ask which one had fairy fire on it. So it's which one? That one? This one here?
This
Okay,
one
we'll start
does.
with them.
And this one does, and this one in between that doesn't is extremely damaged.
Okay. That's, yeah, well, let me start off with this guy then. And I have advantage, so let me go ahead and hit him. for Scorching Ray at advantage. Oh, come on. Advantage. There we go. 24 hits.
Yep.
That's 9. Just let me know when he's dead.
Not yet.
Okay.
It's important, man. Spread out them attacks. Make them worthwhile. I want to drop 50 points of damage on a thing that's only got 1 point.
Okay. How does 15 look? Is he dead?
Nope.
All right.
Damn,
That hurt.
One
God
more
damn, I
ray.
hope so.
I have 2 more rays. I'm passing it. I'm upcasting this one. 12 does not work, but fortunately,
Nope.
I have 1 more shot. And then I get to use my main attack, which I will be twinning.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Another 15.
He's down.
Yeah, baby.
Okay. Now I'm going to hit him with 2 shots of Firebolt.
The name is Sellers.
All right.
That's a hit.
That's 15.
And he's down.
Oh,
Nice.
and I still have 1 more shot because it's a twin, so I can hit him.
With advantage.
Yes, I can.
Yep.
Has anybody seen the new Roadhouse?
and both rolls were bad.
I did.
So
Oh.
that went right over his head.
I
Oh,
did.
wow. Same thing. What'd you think?
I thought it was good. I definitely didn't agree with Lori that it was better than the original.
Yeah, I'm not thinking I'm going to agree that, but it looks entertaining. It's good to get a.
It was definitely good. I enjoyed the shit out of watching it.
Which
I
one?
did like the clip of like watching him just slap the shit out of like 5 guys in the parking lot.
Right? The new Roadhouse, the remake.
Oh yeah. No, I don't think it's better than the original. It's different. There are aspects I liked out of it. I like Conor McGregor.
Well, Gyllenhaal got ripped for that movie, man. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a little weird. Why are you a Conor McGregor fan, Steve?
I'm not. I just like him in that movie.
Oh,
He was an
okay.
interesting character.
Why aren't
Wait
you?
a minute. Did you actually start watching cage fighting and you didn't tell me about it, or what?
No, I don't know. No, I didn't. No, I have not watched him.
Come on, Mike. Where's your Irish solidarity?
No, I don't got a problem with Conor McGregor. I just know that he was like a UFC fighter, and I know Steve
Yeah.
doesn't watch that, so I'm like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah, I knew.
I
of
thought he was
him. I
saying
knew
he
that
was a
him in
Conor
the movie.
McGregor fan.
I thought
Yeah.
you were asking why is he a Conor McGregor fan when he turned into a giant thug?
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
Like,
Yeah, he
when
was a really good thug in that movie. He was funny.
I mean, he's a good fighter and all, but like when he went to smashing up buses and shit, and I was like, dude, come on.
My favorite part of that actually the part with him was when they got into the boat and he's like, oh, our own little octagon, and he's all, what? Who taught you shapes?
Well, anyway, I'm done with my turn, Greg. So
I
what
definitely
else
got to watch.
went on?
It's been on
Warwick
my
is,
round to it. All right, yeah.
Warwick is going after this dude above him, and he has advantage. Okay, so he hit him twice with a longsword. But that's all he can do.
Better
So
than what I was able to do to him.
Crux will attempt to stand the hell up. Crux will fail to stand up.
That's all right. I'm gonna give Crux some assistance here.
Mm.
All right, you're up.
All right, I will scoot around this way, and I'm gonna lay into this dude. So let's start off with 2 Eldritch Blasts. Hope I do better than I did last time. I want multiple hits, damn it.
Oh.
Ooh, crit!
Very good.
So, wow, 1 point of damage. Please don't
Oh,
be another
yeah.
1 on crit. All right, so 12 points of damage total, and the fungus gets pushed 20 feet away from Crux. Let's see if Crux does not go with it.
Man,
Oh, of course, he's prone. He might not get the choice.
No,
that
he manages
is a letdown of a crit, man.
brace
With the
himself.
one.
Yeah, that was awful. All right, and I will also fire 2 more of Melf's minute meteors at him. So here we go
If
with
this was
this.
Warhammer, he'd at least get a critical wound. But no, nothing.
Yeah.
You just gotta take the one.
All right. Oh, damn, another miss. 10 misses.
And 18 hits.
Yeah, so 2d6. Come on, give me something. 7 points of fire damage.
Okay.
And that's my action and bonus action.
Okay. D.
So the one directly in front of her, we're gonna firebolt them.
Okay. That's it. And he's down.
Damn.
My turn.
I'm sorry, did you have anything else?
Nope, that was it.
Okay. Nyx will step up here. And it will attempt to save. And it's saved. Bummer.
Damn, a lot of charisma for a weed.
Yeah.
I know
Well,
he
you know,
don't look like much,
actually-
but you gotta give him a chance. He's got a great personality.
I mean,
with all the pollen, he's attractive.
those were actually the rolls, though, so there was no charisma adjustment.
Yep, maybe he's just growing on me.
Ow.
I love a good dad joke.
I'll be
So-
here all folks.
It takes 6 points of damage, but doesn't have to move. He's dead. Urk.
Looks like. How about this guy here?
Okay.
Let's see. We are just going to use the Planar Warrior this time as a bonus action. Yeah, 28 out of hit, I think.
Yeah, that hits.
Your hunter's mark stays up as long as you maintain concentration for an hour.
But I have to move. Can I move the hunter's mark?
You can as a bonus action.
Oh, well, I use my bonus action to do this thing. already.
Hunter's Mark will actually do more damage, just so you know, because you get it with each hit.
Well,
Go ahead.
Totally up
alright.
to you.
You can,
All right,
Mike. You
let's-
can go ahead and do that because you had your
Okay.
hunter's mark up, so you can move it instead of
Okay.
doing plain warrior if you want.
Okay, we'll do that then.
I mean, there are definitely times when force is a better option.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys haven't really seen a difference
Oh,
in
that's not
the
what I wanted
damage
to
types,
do. There you
even
go.
fire against these creatures. So everything's been kind of equal.
Yeah, I
So,
was really
2.
would be a problem for him.
So that's 10. 10 on that one, that attack.
Okay.
And then $22 hits, I'm assuming, and 8 piercing.
Yep.
And you get the
And then,
extra D6 on that as well.
oh, God damn it.
The Hunter's Mark.
It wouldn't let me just roll it again. All right. See how you are.
Nice.
5. All right, so 13.
You hit it pretty good.
All right. I
All right. It's still
I think
up.
it's
fart in its general direction and talk shit about its mother.
And it heard you. Save. Dex.
Did I mention your father smelled of elderberry?
Huh.
saying
Well,
neat
my
to it.
father, I'll have you know my father was a very proud elderberry bush. Thank you.
Was he a shrubber?
Oh, that sucks. I got a 12.
You are now
Wow.
here and wrapped in a tongue.
Wrapped in a tongue.
Wrapped in a tongue. The plant has a tongue, and it's wrapped you in its tongue and beating you with branches.
Sounds like a good
Man.
weekend.
It hit you with the first one with advantage for 12.
Shit.
Damn, that thing hit hard.
Yeah, it does. And the second one?
The second one missed.
Okay.
13 doesn't hit you regardless. Says, that's what you get for talking about my mother, bitch.
Yeah,
All right.
what happens?
This
I
one-
apologize for talking about your mom.
Aventor, save.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And I don't have any more inspiration. Ooh,
But you did save.
Haha. I'll talk some smack about your mom, weak ass bitch. Oh, well, he didn't manage to hit me once.
And you got hit for 10 points of radiant damage.
I was about to talk
Ouch.
some.
How you feel
After
about that shit talking now?
I was about first week roll, and I was about to talk some more smack until that second one came in.
Stereo.
All right, let me get over here,
Yeah, that bastard will shut you right up.
and then and then we're gonna start throwing some more flame on him. Same deal, quicken scorching ray at 4th level.
Okay.
I'm running low on sorcery points, but I don't really care. We're almost at the end of this. Yep.
That's definitely a hit.
12.
Okay. He's still up.
All right.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
The 12.
He is down.
Yeah, baby. 24.
Nice. And I
Nice.
still have 2 shots left, and I think I'm trying to see if he's in range.
Irk, you are now wrapped up in the tongue of a dead, huge plant.
30. Yeah, he's in range. I think I go to 90 feet. Let me hit one of the last 2 scorching rays I got.
I got to pass on necrophilia here.
Does 14 hit? I think you said no.
No.
I promise this tongue was wrapped around me before it died.
You know, we try not to kink shame, but it's dead and
And I know that one misses, so well, at least I got the other guy. But I do have my main action. I know this thing is range of firebolt, so I'm going to hit him with that. I'm not going to twin it this time.
How is Scorching Ray not your main action?
Quicken spell.
Quicken spell.
Okay, you quickened. Okay. Got it.
Yep.
Firebolt, 24 hits.
Yeah, I picked up Meta Magic Adept, so, I can do that a few times.
And he goes
Drink some
down.
chocolate milk.
All right. Awesome.
Nice.
Warwick stumbles to his feet, walks over to Crux, and says, "Permission to come aboard, sir." Something else is about to happen, but I think this would be a good place to call it for the night.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It's 10:17.
Here we go.